Two teams in two different days. The Blues are back and they're hosting the MLB Youth Academy Barons at Sinsheimer Stadium as a part of a strand of must-win games coming down the final stretch of the summer, and the Blues looking for that playoff spot in the CCL North. Hello, everyone, and welcome inside the broadcast booth. Nate Mills alongside Ryan Giacomini on the call for you today on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. And this is the Ancient Owl pregame show, getting you set for the MLB Youth Academy and the San Luis Obispo Blues. Well, the Blues took the win yesterday against the San Diego Bombers, a CCL South team, and they look to grab another win against the MLB Youth Academy here. A very winnable game for the Blues, I would say, despite their 20-3 result the last time they played down in Compton. They're looking for a big bounce back here, and especially with the series coming to a close, they want to win as many games as possible to make the postseason. Yeah, I mean, the postseason right around the corner. The Blues hold their own destiny to get there, and this is a Barons team that has really struggled this year in the South with just an 11-20 record. So a very beatable team. They do have guys 1 through 9 who can hit the ball hard, but it's going to be up to the Blues pitching and their defense to really make sure that they can keep the runs off the board. And then the Blues bats, they always thrive off of good pitching and good defense. So if those two things are apparent, then the hitting will follow. Well, we talked about the 1 through 9 bats in this lineup for the Academy, but really I think 1 through 3 is the most important part of this lineup for the Barons. They have 3 All-Stars in those spots: Nathaniel Williams, Tommy Gooden, and Jason Del Villar. That's the three-headed monster for this team. Those 3 names lead the CCL in slugging. That's first, second, and third right there. Albeit the Academy Barons field is a bit of a launch pad, and they're coming to the Blues Stadium where the ball famously dies every part of the ballpark. So it's going to have to be an adjustment for them. But again, Charlie Royal's got his hands full with these batters coming into today's game, especially Tommy Gooden, who is a Commodore from Vanderbilt. Yeah, I think the advantage the Blues definitely have today versus the game that they lost 20-4 down in Compton is that this Barons team, if they try to lift the ball like they do down south, it's just not going to work as well, which is good for Royal. He's mainly a fly ball pitcher. He's not a guy who throws like a sinker slider action that's going to get a lot of changeups, but he will get weak pop-ups and fly balls, and that'll play today against this Barons team who likes to drop that back shoulder and rip the ball as high and as deep as they can. Well, guys who are fielding the ground balls today, it's your usual suspects: Sam Mardois at short, Diego Maria at second, and Zach Tallman at first. But a name that we haven't seen in quite a bit, Gavin Constantine, returns to the lineup, and he starts at the hot corner today, looking to shake some rust off. He's had a pretty difficult summer with the Blues so far, and after a couple of days off, maybe a week or so off in the state of Texas, he's back here on the Central Coast to finish off the season on a good note. Yeah, and the Blues could look for some big production from him. Bottom of the order today, batting 9th, and you flip it right back to the top, and you got 4 guys, 3 out of the first 4 hitters for the Blues today are all-stars. So those are guys who can bang the ball. 2 of those guys in Ardois and Tallerman are top 10 and a lot of key hitting stats in the CCL. So guys that really can produce for this team. So if he could be a table setter for E.J. Royal, which is usually his responsibility, that could be big. And we saw it at times last year where Constantine could be that table setter. We talk about guys who mash. Let's take a look at our player of the game yesterday, Gavin Smith. He had himself a day. Kind of funny, for how good he was yesterday with the Blues, he was so close to a multi-home run day. Literally 2 balls on the top of the fence, 1 in center and 1 in left, but it's okay. He still had a 2 RBI triple and a single yesterday against the San Diego Bombers. Expect him to stay hot today against the Barons as well. Yeah, he struggled in the field yesterday, and Dean Traynor recognized that, moved him to the designated hitter spot to keep his explosive bat in the lineup. And I think the Blues could really look for him. He moves up a spot in the order as well to that 6 hole. He's followed by Tallerman, Ardois, and Murillo. Guys who get on base, who slug, who put themselves in scoring position, who can steal bases. So I really expect another great game from Gavin Smith, especially because he doesn't have to waste any energy out on the field. He can just worry on putting all of his power into that bat. Yeah, and Smith is most comfortable in the corner outfield position, but he's told us before he's familiar with playing the infield as well. He'll play wherever the coaches tell him. But that game yesterday at third base was the first time he had played at the hot corner in over a month. So understandably, there was some complications over there. Today, like Ryan mindset. Just have to worry about swinging the stick and doing some more damage today against the Academy Barons. Well, Ryan, the Blues' magic number is 4. And they're looking for a win today, and they're hoping for a Walnut Creek Crawdads loss as well against the Merchants.
Yeah, Crawdads sit in 4th place. The goal is to eliminate them from the playoffs. So if the Merchants can beat the Crawdads, that'll give the Blues a game on that magic number. And if the Blues win, it'll also give them a game. So there's an opportunity for the Blues to go, magic number to go from 4 all the way down to 2 with 4 games left after today.
And maybe a little bit more far-fetched, but first place is not out of the question for the Blues as well. If San Francisco can beat the Stompers today and the Blues win out the rest of the season, there's a very good chance they take first too.
Yeah, I mean, if that is the case, if the Blues win out and the Stompers lose today, the Blues jump into first place and then they would finish as the 1 seed and get that bye. The tough thing, winning out. Barons today, Philippines tomorrow, but then 2 against the Oaks and the Riptide. The Oaks and Riptide are good teams. That's going to be a tough 3-game stretch.
Well, the Blues got a lot on their plates coming down the final stretch, but for now it's the Academy Barons here at Sinsheimer Stadium on a beautiful Wednesday evening. Thanks for tuning in to the Ancient Owl pregame show. Nate Mills and Ryan Giacomini on the call for you today. We'll send it down on the field and we'll see you in a few minutes. And we're live here from San Luis Obispo, California. The Blues gearing up for another game, this time against the Academy Barons, coming all the way down from Compton, California. The Barons recovering from a 5-3 loss against the Arroyo Seco Saints, and they look for vengeance against the Blues here, who they formerly beat 20-4 just a month ago. Here's the starting lineup for the Academy Barons. Nathaniel Williams, the third baseman, leads it off with Cole Benafonte playing second and batting second. Tommy Gooden, the home run derby champion this season, DHs and bats third. Cleaning it up, it's Jason Del Villar at first base, with Antonio Lujan playing in left and batting fifth. Nigel Buckley throws down the signs today and bats sixth, with Jacob Klinowski playing in right field and batting seventh. Batting eighth, it's J.J. Nielsen at shortstop. And rounding it out in the ninth spot is Alejandro Torres playing in center. Here's a defensive alignment for your hometown team since 1946, San Luis Obispo Blues. It's a Cam Andrews day behind the dish with Zach Tolman over at first base, Diego Murillo man second, and Gavin Constantine at the hot corner. Sam Ardois at short. In the outfield left to right is Drew Raymond, E.J. Royal, and Jake Hicksonbaugh, with Gavin Smith DHing. And on the rubber for the San Luis Obispo Blues, it's the right-hander from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, Charlie Royal, entering his senior season with the Mustangs.
Yeah, Royal's been good for the Blues this year. 4 appearances, a couple of starts, 15 2/3 innings pitched, 15 strikeouts to his 4 walks. That ERA is very inflated, honestly, because he has a 1.25 whip, which is very below average, a 5.33 ERA. Not very indicative. He's a 5-pitch mix. He's got to throw a lot of fastball. He'll mix in a cutter, a slider, a changeup, and very occasionally will throw a sweeper, but only will throw the sweepers to right-handed batters.
The right-hander is ready to go against the switch-hitting Nathaniel Williams, who bats left-handed. Here's the first pitch, and it's a fastball taken outside. We're underway at 6:02 p.m., a game-time temperature of 66 degrees and sunny. The 1-0. Williams backs out of the way of a slider inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Williams went 1 for 4 in the Barons game yesterday against the Arroyo Seco Saints with a run scored and a walk. And it takes an offering outside here. 3 straight balls from Charlie Royal to begin the ball game.
Got to get it down, got to find the zone. 3-0 here just to get me over fastball against the leadoff hitter Williams.
And there it is, a called strike 1. Williams is a Don from Santa Ana College, was a CCL All-Star this summer with the Barons, a part of their 3-headed monster at the top of the order. He's laid on a 3-1, and now it's a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And a nice job by Royal to pump in a fastball strike to get Williams to get off the late swing and foul it away to make it a full count. Here comes the payoff. Williams with a high bouncer to second. Murillo at his chest. Now throws it over to first in time for the first out of the inning. 4-3 put out, a routine play for Murillo at second base. And with 1 out, it's Cole Belfonte. Now I mentioned the 3-headed monster that usually leads off the batting order for the Barons of Nathaniel Williams, Tommy Gooden, and Jason Del Villar. Belfonte is a newer name to this group. He's a wrestler from Golden West, and the Barons just received him from the Northwoods League. He's first pitch swinging and cracks it off the end of the bat. The third baseman, Constantine, with an errant throw, and in at second base is Belfonte. Gavin had plenty of time to throw it over to first, and Tolman had to completely come off the bag to get there. All 6'5" of him couldn't get to that baseball.
It's been 10 days since we've last seen Gavin. Just trying to shake the rust off a little bit. Not very prone to playing third base as well. Usually more is up the middle. So position he's not very comfortable with. 10 days since he last played. It's not a great combination for success, but hopefully the rust is off now and he can have a smooth game.
Well, the Blues started putting him at third after a great defensive showing against the Santa Barbara Foresters down in SB over a month ago, and they were playing him a lot ever since then. But then, yeah, like you said, that 10-day break, you can see it here. First pitch swinging here is Tommy Gooden as he grounds it to second, and Murillo bobbles it, throws it to first. There's no one there. The ball gets away. No one's covering home, and Belfonte scores easily. Oh boy, a circus top half of the first inning here, and the Barons strike first 1-0.
I'm just a little confused as to what happened there. Diego Murillo bobbled it, but then was able to stick with it and made a great play. And Zach Tollerman wasn't standing on first base.
That's back-to-back errors, producing a run for the Academy. And Jason Del Villar comes up to the dish with 1 out. So Gooden reaches on error. He's at first base, and it scored Belfonte from second. Here's Del Villar, the first baseman. First pitch, he swings and misses over a changeup for strike 1.
And if you're Charlie Royal, you've gotten a lot of soft contact, but you're down a run and you still need 2 more outs in this inning. It's got to be a little disappointing if you're the starter.
And the Blues' 5-game win streak that they just came off of, they didn't record a single error in any of those games, and there's already 2 in the top of the first here. Time is called at the dish, and Del Villar's got something in his eye. Jason's a Corona, California native. Third in league slugging behind Williams and Gooden, who hit this inning. Williams grounded out to second, and Gooden's at first after reaching on error from Murillo at second. The 0-1. Soft tapper down the third base line, and it's a foul ball. No balls and 2 strikes to Jason Del Villar, who has struck out 16 times this summer in his 96 at-bats. A former Wolverine from San Bernardino Valley Community College and a Seawolf at Sonoma State. He did not play Division II baseball last year with the Seawolves. Pitch in the dirt, and Andrews keeps it in front. 1 ball and 2 strikes. In 2024, the last full season he played of college baseball, it was at San Bernardino Valley College. .354 batting average, a .505 OBP, and a .578 slugging. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Charlie Royal gets him on the slider, and a big second out in the first. First strikeout of the day for Royal, and it brings up Antonio Lujan with 2 outs. Lujan, another switch hitter in the lineup. Nathaniel Williams led off this inning as a left-handed batter. He's a switch hitter too, and Lujan will follow suit and do the same. He's a Cougar from Azusa Pacific, entering his sophomore season as a Los Alamitos native. Short lead at first. First pitch is fouled off at home plate for strike 1. Just finished playing his true freshman season at Azusa Pacific, Division II baseball. Only started and played in 3 games. Went 3 for 11 with no extra base hits, but drove in a pair of runs. Here's the 0-1. Lujan takes the changeup, hitting the outside corner. For strike 2, it's 0-2.
And Lujan had a good day yesterday, where he went 3 for 4 with a pair of RBIs and a double against the Royal Seco Saints. So he's looking to build off that today against the Blues.
Popped up behind home plate. Andrews throws off the mask immediately, but it'll plop right into the orange row and out of play. We'll do it again at 0-2.
This inning by the Roy Grande football program. Our thanks to the AG Eagles for sponsoring our foul balls.
1-0 lead for the Academy Barons. Cole Belfonte scored on an error, and Tommy Gooden is at first base on that same error. Lujan steps back in after a pause. Raymond plays shallow in left field, the opposite way to the left-handed hitter. Check swing, they appeal. They appeal again, and he did not go.
Yeah, well, the home plate umpire, he was just a little confused. He appealed to the first base umpire with the left-handed hitter. First base umpire was like, wait, I can't see anything, man. He's blocking, his body is blocking the bat.
And didn't go around. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Lujan. Lujan bounces it foul into the Blues bullpen down the right field line. We'll do it again. Antonio batting .263 on the summer for the Academy. 1 home run, has driven in 22 in his 95 at-bats this summer. Pretty good ratio here. 10 walks and 2 hit-by pitches to his 11 strikeouts. Lujan off the hand, stays in a battle against Royal as he fouls it into the merchandise tent. And out of play, we'll do it again, 1-2.
Yeah, Royal's just pounding the strike zone, and Lujan is doing a good job to continue to foul pitches off. Royal might have to set up a pitch here, throw a ball maybe up, in, and then work off of it and see if he can get Lujan in an ugly swing.
Now you're right, Royal's got some pitches to work with and the driver's seat against Antonio in a 1-2 count. Off the plate outside, 2-2. And there's an experimental pitch that you were just talking about, Ryan, a changeup that just misses off the plate. Wanted to see if Lujan went after it, but he held up.
Yeah, it's a setup pitch. How he could go to the fastball in the outer part. He could throw a slider that starts on the outside. He could even throw a cutter if he wanted.
2-2 in the dirt. Lujan doesn't offer, and it's a full count now, 3-2.
But now you kind of wasted that setup pitch by throwing a non-competitive in the dirt, and you got to tack Lujan again in the full count with the runner off.
And if you're going to throw a secondary like that, want to keep it up a little higher and not bounce on top of home plate to try to get a swing and miss from Lujan. With 2 outs, the 3-2. Antonio fouls it again down the right field line. Very short lead at first base for Tommy Gooden. Gooden hasn't stolen a single bag this summer. Not necessarily known for his blazing speed. He's a first baseman outfielder at Vanderbilt, mostly known for his power. So a short lead off first, and the pitch gets away. It's ball 4. Gooden will trot into second base, and Lujan wins the battle against Royal and extends the inning with 2 outs.
That's a really quality at bat. A 10-pitch plate appearance. You draw a walk, you put on first base, and it brings up the right-handed hitting Buckley.
The quality at bat for Antonio Lujan keeps the inning alive, and it's Nigel Buckley, the catcher, batting 6th, as the pitching coach Brian Traynor heads out to talk to his right-hander and Charlie Royal.
A little bit of an early mound visit. I mean, Royals look good. He has recorded 4 outs in this inning, but the defense isn't helping him. That at-bat really didn't even get away from him that much. It was a 10-pitch at-bat, but 6 of the pitches he threw were strikes.
Buckley patiently waiting as the meeting disperses from the mound and everyone gets back to their positions. It's Nigel, who is a Toro from Cal State Dominguez Hills. He raked this past season for the Toros. Started in 42 games as a redshirt freshman. Batted .338 with 2 homers and 26 runs batted in. Swing and a miss at the first pitch here for strike 1. A smaller sample size this summer with the Barons. He was a late addition. He played his first game on June 29th. And the season started earlier that month. The 0-1. Slider misses well outside. It kicks high above the head of Andrews behind home plate. Royal covers home. Both runners advance a station each. So Gooden is now at third, and Antonio Lujan's at second. 2 in scoring position for Buckley, who has driven in just 2 runs this summer for the Academy.
You know, you're good. You're still just an out away from getting out of this inning. Focus on the batter. You now work from the windup if you'd like to with the runner on third.
Royal steps on from the stretch with 2 runners in scoring position. The wind blowing out to left field. And 2 outs and a 1-1 count to Buckley. Buckley swings and misses for strike 2. .241 average so far this summer with the Barons. Making in his 30th at bat right now. It's against Charlie Royal. He's 7 of 29 so far. A slugging catcher awaits. Buckley off the end of the bat, grounds it right back to the pitcher, Royal, who underhand flips it to first base and retires the side. Well, the Barons strand 2 runners on base, but after a couple of errors and no hits, a run scores, and the Academy is up early 1-0 against the Blues. We head into the bottom half of the first on the SLO Blues streaming network. Bottom half of the first inning, the Academy strikes first. Run scores on an error from Diego Murillo at second base. You don't see that too often. And it's 1-0 MLB Youth Academy. So now it's the Blues' turn to try to at least tie the game against Compton. So here's the starting lineup for the San Luis Obispo Blues. E.J. Royal leads it off and plays center. Hicksonbaugh right bats second. Zach Tollerman bats third and plays first. Sam Ardois, the shortstop, cleans it up. Diego Murillo plays second and bats fifth, with Gavin Smith DHing and batting sixth. Drew Raymond in left, batting seventh. Cam Andrews catching, batting eighth. And Gavin Constantine rounds it out in the ninth spot, batting third for the San Luis Obispo Blues. On the mound today for the Academy Barons, it's the right-hander from Utah Valley College, Frankie Lopez.
Frankie Lopez, he got a lot of pitches to work with. Mainly a fastball seeker slider guy, but also has a splitter and a cutter. Will occasionally throw a changeup and a curveball.
First batter is E.J. Royal. He takes a first pitch slider outside, 1-0.
Catcher's going to have to take the glove on to throw down pitch number 7.
Royal and Lopez familiar with each other, especially this past season in the WAC. E.J. takes a slider high, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. E.J. told us at the beginning of the season about their heartbreaking loss to Utah Valley in the Western Athletic Conference tournament. Royal takes a sinker that time, and it's a called strike, 2-1. They were a tough team to crack, Utah Valley. Along the way, they lost to Cal Baptist and Grand Canyon with 5 and 6 spots late in those games. EJ taps it on the ground left side, and it goes underneath the glove of Williams at third, and that's an error by Williams to begin the first inning.
Ball's getting booted on both sides. I guess the Blues will take it, and Barons give up a leadoff base runner on an E5.
So EJ reaches on the error, and it's Jake Hicksonbaugh who's seen it pretty well right now. Hicksonbaugh yesterday for the Blues went 1 for 5, though. An RBI single in the fourth. And he had an RBI single a day prior to that, too, against the Menlo Park Legends, but a multi-hit day against the Alameda Merchants where he went 2 for 4 with an RBI single on July 19th. Pick over to first, and Royals back in safely. Hicksonbaugh committed to play for the Thunderwolves of Colorado State Pueblo come fall. And he is pretty jazzed to head out to the Centennial State.
I mean, he's riding a 6-game hitting streak right now, so the bat is hot indeed.
Hicks fouls it down the left field line and into the Barons bullpen, 0-1.
Yeah, I think the Blues would love for him to extend that right here, give up a run with some ugly defense at the top half of the first. Your leadoff guy gets on. If you could put 2 on with no out for the middle of this order, Blues will be in business to get that run and maybe even some more.
Infield slightly shifting to the pull side of the left-handed hitter. The 0-1. Hicksonbaugh cracks it to second. Belfonte flips to second for 1, and they can't turn the double play. Jake Hicksonbaugh with some nice hustle. There's only 1 out.
Yeah, I mean, Hicksonbaugh, he's always going to give you good hustle. He went 1 for 5 yesterday and reached twice on 2 separate fielders' choices. It's kind of his game. If he hits the ball soft on the ground, you're not turning a double play.
Now, speaking of not turning double plays, here's Zach Tollerman, who has only grounded into 1 double play this summer in 109 plate appearances. And if you would have told me that 2 years ago, I would have not believed you, because he lived on the ground, bat coming off the ball. A move over to first, and Hicksonbaugh's in with a head first dive.
And it sounds crazy saying this, but you exchanged a little bit of speed over at first base. Hicksonbaugh, he is slightly faster than Royal, a little bit better of a bag stealer in my opinion.
He edged out EJ last year in that bag stealing contest they had in 2024. 22 versus 19 is how each of them finished the season. Ball gets out of the way of Buckley, and Jake's in at second base easily. I don't think Buckley realized he hadn't caught the ball until it was too late.
That just squirted right out the right side of the mitt, and Buckley seemed a little lost.
So now a runner in scoring position for the Blues. That's the tying run in Jake Hicksonbaugh. And it's Zach Tollerman, who has driven in 15 this summer for the Blues. Pitch misses downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes.
Lopez is looking to have a little bit of a bounce back game. His last time out, he received a loss against the Riptide where he gave up 3 runs on 8 hits in 5 innings. So looking to bounce back. He's been really good this year, though, with his 1.5 ERA for the Barons.
ZT cracks it off his front foot, and it's a foul ball, 2-1. Well, yeah, that blip of a game, as you could say, at the Riptide was the most earned runs he's allowed in a single outing. Prior to that, he had only allowed 2 earned runs the entire summer in 5 appearances. Two one. Tellerman takes a pitch in there for strike 2. Zach surveys his bat as he takes a deep breath and heads back in the box. Sam Ardois stands on deck for the Blues. Lopez gets his sign from the catcher. Buckley now comes set with an open stance. Tollerman leaves it just below the zone, and it moves to a full count.
I thought that one was low for sure, but the umpire took a step back as if he was going to ring ZT up. It's been an issue for Zach. He's been really, really patient. He has more walks than he does strikeouts this year, but almost too patient. He continues to strike out looking.
I struck out looking twice yesterday against the San Diego Bombers. 3-2. Slider and an easy take outside. That's ball 4. And if he's not looking at strike 3, he's walking.
Pretty much what it's been for him, especially his last 2 days. 3 walks and 3 strikeouts in the last couple of games. He didn't even go back the game before. He had 2 walks and a strikeout, put 1 ball in play in that game. So he's been really, really patient at the plate. And it's kind of a breath of fresh air because a lot of these Blues hitters just like to get up there and swing as hard as they can at every pitch that's anywhere near the strike zone. Zach Tollerman continues to just be kind of a steady force for the Blues.
There's a certain amount of buy-in with this offense, it feels like, as well. Just observing batting practice, you can tell they're all working on something. Talked to Charlie Royal before today's game, not in today's starting lineup, but we are very well aware of his pull side power as a left-handed hitting catcher. Today, he tried to hit it the opposite way, and it didn't matter how soft it was. It could have been 60 miles an hour off the bat, but he was working on something, and I think that's what all these Blues hitters do. Ardois, wild hack and a miss here on a slider for a strike, 1-1.
So maybe for ZT, he's proven to Blues fans and himself that he can hit for power. Now looking to be more of an on-base guy for the Blues. Maybe that's been his switch, something he wants to work on before he plays some indie ball.
Tollerman, or Ardois, jitters his feet in the right-handed batter's box. He's got the black and white dunks as cleats. Sends a fastball the opposite way, and it's foul into the Blues bullpen. Well, the other day in batting practice, Ardois got ahead of a pitch on the inner part of the plate and crushed it out to left field. And as he exited the bubble, he said, that felt good to do. I haven't done that in a while. Actually turn on a baseball and hit it with some juice on his pull side because he's trying so hard to go the opposite way and up the middle all the time. It's always better repetition to have boring batting practice, but every once in a while you indulge on an inside meatball and hammer it to left, and it feels good. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 3. Ardois freezes up, and he sits down on strikes for the second out of the first.
That one's right there for Ardois, but it was a sinker with some late action. Came back into the zone and caught a little bit of the plate.
Here's Diego Murillo, the second baseman, batting 5th. 2 runners on. It's Tollerman at first and Hixenbaugh at second. Tollerman represents the go-ahead run for the Blues in the bottom half of the first inning. A disengagement at the plate. Lopez wants another sign. Murillo of 2 for 4 day yesterday. A pair of singles, a pair of runs scored, a strikeout and a pop-up. Also walked as well. First pitch. Murillo, a long swing and a miss on a sweeper for strike 1. Diego still shockingly uncommitted after the great summer he's putting up with the Blues. 804 OPS, 429 on base, and a 317 batting average. Swings at another sweeper and pops it up and out of play for strike two.
Yeah, and we know he's been talking to, some Division I colleges, but he's yet to decide which one he's going to play at in the spring of 2025.
Not on his list of priorities. Just worried about the next pitch. 0-2. Murillo takes it high, 1-2. The guy kind of shows up to the ballpark every day with not where I'm going to commit, but how can I make myself better today? And those are the guys you want to see have success at any level. It's so easy nowadays to get caught up in what school I'm going to, what division I play. Murillo, that's not the case. Weekly hit the opposite way. The second baseman Belfonte charges it and flips it over to first in time to end the first inning. Barons up 1-0 over the Blues as we head into the second on the SLO Blues streaming network. Jacob Klinowski leads it off in the top half of the second inning against Charlie Royal. The Academy is up 1-0 over the San Luis Obispo Blues. Klinowski is first pitch swinging and hits it on the ground right side. Murillo off his chest throws it over to first for the first out of the second. One pitch, one out for Charlie Royal.
No errors there for the Blues. That was a routine ground ball. Make the play, get the first out.
Now batting, it's J.J. Nielsen, the shortstop, batting eighth today for the Barons. Nielsen, a Bellflower, California native, and after a year at the University of Hawaii, has hit the transfer portal. Almost hit by a pitch in the head here as it gets into the backstop for ball one. Kind of struggled this summer, but his prep athletic years are full of stories to tell generations. Laid on a fastball here as he pops it up and out of play. He's a former three-star quarterback in California. He led the state with 4,200 total yards and 37 touchdowns as a senior quarterback. Up the middle here, and it falls for a base hit. Soft hit single for J.J. Nielsen, and that's the first hit of the day for both teams.
And excuse me, swing that punched the base hit right in the perfect spot. I mean, it landed 2 feet into the outfield grass. It was just right back up the middle where no one could get it.
You talk about stories to tell for a lifetime. Here's Alejandro Torres, a Sacramento native who has played baseball all over the world. He's first pitch swinging and hits a fair ball to third. Constantine sets his feet, goes to second, now on to first, and they can't turn to double play. Fielder's choice from Alejandro Torres as Nielsen is forced out at second.
It was a good play from Constantine. Smart play, too. He saw that the runner, Nielsen, was not going to be quick enough at second and decided to get the lead runner to see if Murillo was going to have quick enough hands to go around the horn. But regardless, you get out, you get the lead runner.
Realize I couldn't go deep into Alejandro Torres' story, but to give you an idea, he's played baseball in Greece and in Germany. And, obviously, the United States at Hope International University. Here's the top of the order in Nathaniel Williams, who's 0 for 1. Pitch misses outside, 1-0 to Williams. Grounded to Murillo the last time he was up. 1 for 4 in last night's loss against the Arroyo Seco Saints with a run scored, a walk, and a strikeout. 5th in CCL hits with his 36. Here's a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to the Don from Santa Ana College. This past season in 2025, he earned first-team All-Orange Empire honors with his .317 average and .421 on base. Lined the opposite way and into the Barons dugout for strike 2. Also had a .429 slugging. No homers this past season with the Dons, but on his 40 hits, he drove in 34. Walked more than he struck out, too. 22 walks compared to his 18 Ks. Average lead at first for Torres. Now he goes, but it's fouled off at home plate.
Torres had that bag stolen all the way. He got a really good jump despite the small lead. And the Blues get bailed out by Williams swinging at that 1-2 offering.
A Williams who's from Huntington Beach and went to Santa Ana College. Is this familiar? Well, it should be, because his brother Thomas Williams played last night for the San Diego Bombers and is also a switch hitter like Nathaniel, who bats lefty today. Runner goes again, pitches high, and a one-hopper to second. Can't be gloved by Ardois. And a stolen base for Alejandro Torres. Or check that. Yeah, Alejandro Torres.
It should sound really familiar. He's the younger of the two.
Yeah.
He's going into his redshirt junior year. His brother going into his redshirt COVID senior year. So 2-year difference between the two bros, both switch hitting infielders.
Two. Williams pokes it the opposite way, but Raymond is there as he loses the cap. Drew was playing shallow when he makes the running catch for the final out of the top of the second. We head in the bottom half of the frame. Blues trail by 1 on the SLO Blues streaming network. Gavin Smith, Drew Raymond, and Cam Andrews due up in this inning. That's brought to you by Studio Design Group Architects. Whether you're designing, planning, or needing permits for a new space, Studio Design Group and their collaborative philosophy have you covered. Visit sdgarchitects.com to learn more. Here's Smith, who was the player of the game yesterday. He's first pitch hacking, and he fouls it behind home plate for strike one.
Yeah, I mean, rightfully so. 10 feet total between being a 2 for 4 day with a triple and 3 RBIs to a 2 for 4 day with 2 home runs and a 7 RBIs.
The 0-1. Slider misses well outside, 1-1. I talked with Smith today in batting practice. How did it feel to just miss 2 home runs? And he just takes a deep sigh. Bro, so frustrating. 1-1. Smith holds up his swing and it misses low. 2 balls and a strike. I mean, yes, but at the same time, you did have a 2 RBI triple and a hard hit single. 2-1. Another slider missing outside. 3 balls and a strike now.
Well, and I think the one that probably really stings was the one to left, because he said he thought that one went out, and instead of it being a hit, it just turned into a sac fly. You might have been a little happier if it banged off the wall and it was a 2-run double or something like that.
And there's a 5-pitch walk to Gavin Smith, and he's aboard in the second.
And you know what that does? This might be sneaky, but Gavin Smith has reached base safely in 11 straight games that he started.
He still finds a way through his ups and downs at the dish. Being a little too pole side happy, still finding a way to reach. And here's Drew Raymond, one of the 2 left-handed batters in today's lineup for the Blues, as Lopez comes set from the first base side of the rubber. Raymond swings and foul tips it straight back into the backstop for strike one. Smith has stolen just 3 bags this summer with the Blues in his 29 games played. A pretty decent lead off of first base as Raymond stands in the 0-1. Drew backs out of the way of a pitch inside, a ball and a strike. Raymond starting in his 16th game of the summer for the Blues, batting .264 with a .667 OPS. 1-1. Raymond hits it hard on the ground right side, but the second baseman Belfani can't quite turn the double play. They'll get the force out at second. Today has been a day of getting one half of double plays.
Yeah, that's the second Blues fielder's choice, and the Barons have hit into one as well.
3 times in 2 innings, I would say, is a lot. So Raymond reaches on the fielder's choice. He's at first, and it's Cam Andrews, today's catcher, batting 8th and wearing black batting gloves. Andrews takes the first pitch and a called strike.
I would say that's a lot, too, considering there were only 2 in last night's game, and they played 9 full innings of baseball.
The 0-1. Takes a strike again, 0-2. Andrews has driven in 7 this season on his 9 hits with the Blues. 3 for extra bases, 2 doubles and a triple. Cam takes a slider outside, a bait pitch from Frankie Lopez, and it's 1-2.
And Cam hasn't recorded a hit in almost 2 weeks, so he's looking to get off that train and get a knock right here.
3 for 18 July. Andrews trying to end the season on a high note. Cam takes another slider outside. Buckley slides to his right to get there. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It's funny, when I look at these CCL results, Cam Andrews obviously part of that carousel where he only plays every 3 days, but the Blues have recorded 9 wins when he's behind the dish.
Ooh, a slider that didn't miss by much inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
They're 9-4 when Cam Andrews gets the start. Check that, 9-3, because he came in and replaced Caruso on the 20th.
Payoff pitch, he puts it in play down the third base line. It's a slow chopper, but Williams throws it over to first in time. And that's the second out of the second inning, but it moves Drew Raymond into second base.
Yeah, productive out and gives Gavin Constantine a chance to right the ship with a runner in scoring position.
Talk about batters struggling. Gavin Constantine falls into that category. Just 3 hits on the entire summer in his 50 at-bats. Never too late to start now and turn it around. About a 10-day hiatus going back to his home state of Texas, and he's back on the Central Coast. First pitch slider misses outside, and Buckley keeps it in front 1-0. And for a team that is not good at hitting the slider, the Blues have done a nice job laying off of it early on against Lopez. Pitch gets away from Buckley behind home plate, and Drew Raymond advances to third with ease. A wild pitch puts the tying run 90 feet away for Constantine.
Job gets a little easier for number 9.
Just got to find some real estate somewhere in the outfield grass, and Raymond will score and tie this game up. Constantine at a good spot to do so in a 2-0 count against Frankie Lopez. Gavin takes a fastball in the outer part for a strike 1. Zone expanding just a tick, a little too much that way. Gavin takes a fastball here, and somehow that was not called a strike, 3-1.
Yeah, I feel like that ball was 2 inches closer to the strike zone than the pitch before. Maybe a makeup call.
A 3-1 count now to Gavin, today's third baseman, batting ninth with the leadoff man Royal on deck. With 2 outs, the pitch. Constantine swings and misses for strike 2 over a breaking ball. Drew Raymond going at the swing of the bat from Gavin. Here's the payoff. Constantine goes down swinging. 23rd strikeout of the summer for Gavin Constantine, and it strands the tying run at third base. We head into the third inning. The Blues still trail 1-0 against the Barons on the SLO Blues streaming network. Cole Belfonte leads it off in the top half of the third inning. The Blues trail the Academy Barons 1-0. Belfonte looks at the first pitch outside from Charlie Royal, 1-0. Now Belfonte reached on error in the first and eventually came around to score off another error from Tommy Gooden. 1-0, poked up and out of the stadium, foul for strike 1. And that's been the biggest separator today in this ball game. It's still very early, but the Blues' 2 errors are quite literally the reason they are down right now.
Yeah, I mean, only 1 hit amongst both teams, but there's been so many base runners stranded already.
This one's popped up in foul ground, and Murillo with very good hustle won't get there in time as he crashes into the wall.
And when you look, the Barons have stranded 3 runners, and the Blues the same, but there's only 1 hit in this game and 1 run.
Hixenbaugh jogs back to his position in right field, and Belfonte is set. One, two. Popped up again down the right field line, and again it's foul. Something about these Barons hitters, too. They certainly don't wait. They want to swing early in counts, and these guys have had very short at-bats.
Well, but it's been pretty successful because they will get in 2-strike counts and then just foul off pitches.
Well, Belfonte takes inside here on a slider that slipped out of the fingertips of Royal. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Not to mention they're putting the ball in play and making this defense work, and Blues defense has looked lackluster thus far.
2-2. Belfonte takes in the dirt, and now a full count now. 0 for 3 yesterday against the Arroyo Seco Saints, but Cole scored a run, walked twice, and struck out. Here's the payoff. Belfonte takes in the dirt for ball 4. Second walk of the day from Charlie Royal, and a leadoff walk here in the top of the 3rd.
It's usually not an error we see Royal struggle with. Usually he's a strike thrower. I mean, this year, only 4 walks in his 15 2/3 innings coming into today's game.
Ill-advised and can come back to haunt you. A leadoff walk for Royal brings up the Home Run Derby champion Tommy Gooden, who also leads the CCL in long balls with 7. First pitch, there's a called strike, 0-1. Gooden is a stud, to put it simply. A Commodore from Vanderbilt who redshirted this past season in Tennessee. The 0-1. Gooden cranks it into right field. Hixenbaugh won't have a play as it one-hops in front of him. A single for Tommy Gooden in the second hit of the day for the Academy.
It was a smart decision from Hixenbaugh. He might have been able to dive and make that play like he's done so many times this summer, but if that ball got by him, it was probably a triple, maybe even a 4-bagger, and instead by faking like he was going to catch it, it just moves the runner up 1 station. You can work with 2 on and no outs.
So a conservative play from Hixenbaugh, probably the smarter one, brings up Jason Del Villar, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. First pitch to Del Villar misses low and outside, ball 1. Jason was 1 for 3 yesterday against the Saints. Scored a run, drove in a run, walked and doubled. Big swing and a miss as he fouls it off the shin of Andrews behind home plate for strike 1. Del Villar is a Cal State Monterey Bay commit. He just committed there on July 19th, not too long ago. That's 4 days ago.
From you.
Looked for a new place to call home all summer after hitting the portal with Sonoma State's baseball program going under, all of their athletics going under. The 1-1. Big swing and a miss for strike 2. Del Villar has reached base safely in 25 of his 26 games played. 0 for 1 today. And threatening to head back into the dugout here in a 1-2 count. A closed off stance and a baby blue barrel ready to do some damage against Royal. The pitch, Del Villar takes outside. A nice leave, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It's really impressive. 25 out of 26 games, you've reached base safely. That'll definitely get you an all-star nod in the South.
And a commitment to one of the best Division II programs in the country. 2-2. Del Villar takes a pitch on the outer corner, strike 3. Royal paints the outside edge, and that's the first out of the third. Second strikeout of the day for Del Villar and Charlie Royal.
And Del Villar, or I should say Royal, has Del Villar's number today. He's trying to make that 25 out of 27.
Del Villar, not a crazy strikeout guy, too. 16 Ks compared to his 6 hit by pitches and 10 walks heading into today's game. Obviously, that ratio has since changed. 18 Ks on the summer now. So here's Antonio Lujan. First pitch, and it's fouled off his front foot at home. Strike one. Antonio, the left fielder, was 3 for 4 yesterday with 2 ribbies and a double. Definitely had the best day of Barons batters in their 5-3 loss. And today reached on a walk in the first inning, but was stranded at second base. With 2 outs here, there's runners on first and second, Belfonte and Gooden. I checked that 1 out in the inning. The pitch, it's foul. Del Villar has driven in 24 this summer for the Barons. Lujan has driven in 22 this summer. 0-2. Another foul down the first base line.
One of 2 switch hitters in this lineup for the Barons. I think that might be the first time all summer the Blues have seen 2 switch hitters in a lineup. It's just not something you see all that often in the CCL, to be honest.
Oh, 2. Again, another foul ball down the first baseline. That's 3 in a row.
You were just talking about how the Blues or the Barons at bats are pretty quick. Again, these 2-strike counts, but they just continue to foul pitches off. I mean, Royal has only given up 2 hits and 2 walks, but this right here is going to be pitch number 56.
Just in the top of the third here. Misses inside here. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Antonio.
It's going to be a big bullpen game for the Blues. They wasted a couple of arms last night in the win. Hawk Hill and Omar Reynoso. We'll look to some other guys. Chase Rogers, Jaden Turner.
1-2. Sent foul, and we'll do it again. Most likely a Reese Bueno appearance as well. New pitcher for the Blues. Fresh shipment from Cal Poly. Is that Eli Henderson in the stands?
Where?
1-2 is fouled off the mask of Andrews.
It is. Get him a jersey.
Where do I begin, Eli?
I mean, hey, small sample size, but he leads the Blues at batting average in league play.
444.
9 at-bats.
Happy to have you back here, Hendo. Enjoying a nice night at Sinsheimer with some fam. 1-2. Grounder to first, not surprising. Tallman will take it himself and tap the bag for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, I mean, after pulling 3 pitches foul down the line, you got to think Zach Tallman's like, oh, this ball is definitely coming to me.
Well, he was ready and tapped first base with no help. And after a walk and a single to begin the inning, it's 2 quick outs, but the ground out did put Belfonte at third and Gooden at second.
Yeah, it is a productive out, and that'll be up to Buckley to try to drive some runs in for the Barons.
First pitch, and Buckley takes it for strike 1. Nigel was first-team All-CIF and was the Delray League MVP his senior year of high school at Sarah High. Oh, 1, and he's buckled up on a slider for strike 2.
Good movement there from Royal. Definitely no signs of fatigue, even though the pitch count is creeping into the 60s.
was 2 for 5 on July 20th against the Royal Secco Saints. He's 0 for 1 today with a grounder back to the pitcher. Bouncer to short. Ardois charges it with a couple of steps, throws it across the diamond for the third out of the inning. The Barons strand 2 runners in scoring position. They still lead the Blues 1-0 as we head into the bottom half of the third inning. Blues trail on the SLO Blues streaming network. Top of the order for the Blues, it's E.J. Royal, Jake Hicksonbaugh, then Zach Tollerman against Frankie Lopez for his third inning of work. The Blues have yet to figure him out in the early going as they trail 1-0 against the Academy Barons. E.J. reached on an error in the first and was forced out at second from a Hicksonbaugh grounder. Takes the first pitch fastball here and a called strike. As I said, Lopez and Royal, both familiar with the Western Athletic Conference. EJ fouls it away. Lopez, a Wolverine from Utah Valley, and EJ, a former Bison from Utah Tech.
You got to think EJ's definitely had some at-bats against Lopez.
Off speed, misses outside, 1-2. And I talked to EJ at the beginning of this season. We were fresh off of, regional play and conference tournament play, and I asked him about Utah Valley, who had made a regional in Eugene, and he said, dude, those guys can bang. Slider misses outside, 2-2. Another interesting note about Utah Valley, too, is they don't recruit high schoolers.
Yeah.
They only recruit transfer players.
Well, it makes sense why they're always good.
2-2. Royal takes off the plate inside, full count.
You're only recruiting guys who are, in their 20s, couple years of college baseball under their belt. And you're playing against guys who are probably starting true freshmen who just finished up high school baseball.
Payoff. Royal sends it the opposite way. Klinowski playing shallow, reaches up and makes the catch. EJ goes oppo at 90 miles an hour, but Klinowski redeems himself with an extension in right.
It's a good sign for EJ, hitting the ball hard the other way on a line and almost burning the right fielder. So that's a quality at bat.
An L9 for the center fielder brings up Jake Hicksonbaugh. When I think, Ryan, too, you talked about how transfer guys coming in bring a lot more experience to the team, but I think there's also a mindset difference, too. Hicksonbaugh gets the bunt down. It's hit hard down the first base line, and the pitcher Lopez can't glove it. An infield hit for Jake Hicksonbaugh off a hard hit bunt.
Hey, that's one way to keep the 7-game hitting streak alive for Jake Hicksonbaugh. Scrappy, and that's just what he does. Puts himself on any way he possibly can, and now he's going to create some havoc on the base pass, and I would put a lot of money on him scoring. in this inning.
Hicksonbaugh has stolen 9 bases in his 20 games played. Was the team leader in stolen bases last year with 22. Here's Tullerman. Takes off to second here. The throw goes down. Oh my goodness, it beat him by 3 steps, and they got him on the tag.
I would be broke.
That was a great throw from Buckley behind the dish. And Hicksonbaugh got a good jump and everything, and it wasn't that Jake was slow. I mean, that pop time from Buckley was ridiculous. Cal State Dominguez Hills catcher, who was a stud at J. Sarah High School, continuing to make impacts in games. Here's the 0-1 to Tullerman. And a half swing, but it doesn't matter. It's a called strike on a sweeper, 0-2. It's a little deflating, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely. Get on via a beautiful bunt single, and you get thrown out on the next pitch.
0-2. Tullerman took a pitch that didn't miss by much on the outer half, 1-2.
I don't like the way this umpire steps back on his ball call. It really looks like he's going to punch you.
I get ready to put the octave in a higher range for the strike 3, and it never happens. Slider misses outside, 2-2. He just did it again.
Yeah, it's very much like, you're getting rung up step.
Well, and the way the zone has been a little inconsistent today, like that pitch has been called a strike today. Fouled at home plate, 3-2.
Well, I think the home plate umpire is a little lost because he said the first pitch was a strike, and then he went back on himself. The count is now full, rather than it being a 2-2 count.
Well, it's 3-2 now, and Tullerman fighting against Lopez. With 2 outs, the payoff. Taken on the outside corner, it's strike 3. Tullerman sits down looking for the first time today and the third time in 2 days. Frankie Lopez faces the minimum in the bottom of the third, and we head into the fourth. The Blues still trail 1-0 on the SLO Blues streaming network. Top of the fourth inning, 7-8-9. Due up for the Barons against Charlie Royal. First pitch to Jacob Klonowski is taken for strike 1. Jacob 0 for 1 today with a ground ball to the second baseman Murillo. The 0-1. Klonowski takes it off the plate, 1-1. Jacob, a 3-year pioneer from Cal State East Bay. 1-1 is cranked into right, and it'll be just foul.
That's a crushed, just a little in on the hands, a little early, but 101.
1-2 strikes to the left-handed hitter from Upland, California, entering his senior season of D2 ball. The pitch, outside 2-2. Batting south of 200 this season with the Barons. 12 hits in his 66 at-bats coming into today's game. 2-2 is rocketed up the middle, a base hit. 104 miles an hour, hot off the press from Klinowski, and a leadoff single for the Academy.
Yeah, that was a really good at-bat. He hit 2 balls over 100 miles an hour in the same at-bat. I'll take that any day of the week and twice on Wednesdays.
Well, he's only done it once on Wednesday today with that single. And it brings up J.J. Nielsen. First pitch. And Nielsen moves his hands over a slider for a strike. A very nice pitch from Royal. J.J., a former Rainbow Warrior from the University of Hawaii, now in the transfer portal. A two-sport athlete on the islands. A big swing and a miss at a slider here for strike 2. Played football and baseball, but saw limited action in both. He appeared in 7 games for the baseball team, going 1 for 2 as a pinch hitter and 5 games as a pinch runner. He sends this one into right center. Neither outfielder will have a play as it 3-hops the wall. Green light for Klinowski as he rounds third, and the throw comes home. It's close. Andrews swipes the tag. It's not in time. An RBI triple for J.J. Nielsen makes it a 2-0 ball game. Bang, bang, play at the plate, and a nice relay.
These Barons batters are just really starting to figure out Royal. Probably time for the Blues to get someone up and moving.
So the Cal State Northridge commit Jaden Turner getting hot in the Blues bullpen. Dean Traynor talking to the home plate umpire about that call at the plates. And I think he was safe.
Yeah, it was close. Definitely hard to tell from our angle, but maybe just want a little bit of clarification on how that wasn't an out, because the throw definitely beat Klinowski to the plate, but it was a little offline, and they're going to discuss it.
The entire umpiring crew converging to the left side of the mound. Jacob Klinowski, for now, scored from first on an RBI triple from J.J. Nielsen. I mean, it was perfectly placed in the right center alleyway, an opposite way extra base hit. Royal and Hicksonbaugh had no chance of getting there.
No, absolutely not. I mean, it almost landed on the warning track, and it was hard hit on a line. There was no way either of them were getting there. Their best play was to try to get an out on a relay, and they almost did at the plate. You know, maybe they did. If the umpires overturn this, they're still discussing. Usually a long discussion is a good thing if you're trying to get the call overturned.
Now the runner is safe, and it's confirmed, an RBI triple for J.J. Nielsen. Last time Nielsen hit a triple this summer, the one and only other time, was on July 3rd against the Santa Barbara Foresters. He went 2 for 3 that day and scored a run.
And this must-win game for the Blues just got a little bit harder. They've given up 2 runs now. There's a runner on third with nobody out, and the infield's going to come in. And they got to try to maintain or keep this at a 2-run lead for the Barons.
Dean trying to get the last word, and he waves off the umpires as he takes the heel toe back to the dugout. So Nielsen's at third, and Alejandro Torres steps up to the plate. Torres from Sacramento, California, now at Hope International University, playing for the Royals. Slider misses inside, 1-0. The entire Blues infield playing in with a runner at third and less than 2 outs. That's the NAIA World Series winning Hope International Royals to you. Big swing and a miss here for strike 1. He was a graduate student last year. Appeared in 14 games with a .364 batting average. Scored 4 and drove in 5. The 1-1. A long swing and a miss at a low slider here for strike 2. Torres played for the Bad Homburg Hornets in Germany. in 2021. Hitting .362 with a .483 on base and a .404 slugging. Thought about going after another slider in the dirt, and they appealed to first. He didn't go around.
This is a huge strikeout situation. I mean, really, this at-bat and the next one are strikeout situations for Royal and the Blues.
There's the 2-2. Takes high 3-2. When I say Bundesliga, Ryan, what sport do you think of?
Soccer.
This is not soccer. He played in the baseball Bundesliga in Germany. He led the Bundesliga in runs and was tied for second in hits. Here's a blooper to right. Hixenbaugh saunters to his right, makes the catch. Runner tags from third, and the throw is well offline. A sacrifice fly from Alejandro Torres scores J.J. Nielsen and makes it a 3-0 ball game.
He got the job done. Bases cleared with one out now for the top of the order. But 2 runs are already across. And when you look around the league at some of the important matchups for the Blues, Stompers lead the goals 4-2 in San Bruno. And over in Alameda, the Merchants are losing 2-1.
Pop out to left. Raymond, a few steps back, makes the catch.
The Blues just need to win. Blues just need to win. Simple as that. Blues win, they make the playoffs. But if they don't win, they're going to need some help. And that needs to come with the Merchants winning and beating the Crawdads, who are in 4th place right now. That is not the case.
Batting for the Academy Barons, Cole Belfonte.
Here's Belfonte, 0 for 1 today with a walk and a run scored. Swing and a miss at the first pitch, strike 1. The 0-1 in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Royals' pitch count is now nearing 80 as Jaden Turner continues to get loose.
Here's the 1-1. Check swing, and it's fouled straight back.
He's averaging almost 20 pitches an inning, which is well above the average.
Two, drilled into center. Royal takes a couple of hard steps in and makes the catch. 3 fly ball outs to end the 4th inning. We head into the bottom half of the frame. The Blues now trail 3 after the Barons scored 2 in an inning brought to you by SLO County Golf. Bottom of the 4th inning is brought to you by SLO County Golf, offering 3 courses in SLO, Morro Bay, and Atascadero, and a unique combination of beautiful scenery and affordable prices. Book your next tee time now at slowcountygolf.com. Sam Ardois leads it off against Frankie Lopez and takes the first pitch outside, 1-0. Well, the Academy extended their lead by 2 more runs. An RBI triple from J.J. Nielsen and an Alejandro Torres sacrifice fly makes it a 3-0 ball game. Ardois takes a pitch below the zone, 2 balls and no strikes. Blues offense is MIA right now. Only 1 hit in 3 innings as Frankie Lopez enters his 4th. Here's the 2-0. Ardois fouls it off his shin for strike 1.
Frankie Lopez has been a dominant pitcher for the Barons all summer long. I mentioned he has a 1.5 ERA with 29 strikeouts in his 30 innings of work coming into today, and most notably, no runs in 5 innings with 8 strikeouts against the Santa Barbara Foresters.
2-1, a nice-looking changeup here, hitting the outside corner, 2-2. I mean, if you compare it to yesterday's win for the Blues, they won 10-3 against the Bombers. They had only recorded 2 hits in the first 3 innings. It took a blow-up inning in the 4th to really pull away from San Diego. 2-2. Ardois right back up the middle over the stretching glove of Lopez and into center field, a base hit. Second knock of the day for the Blues, and it leads off the 4th inning.
That is the definition of a perfectly placed base hit. Nate, guess how hard that came off of Ardois' bat?
70.
46.
No way.
Yeah. And a perfect bouncer right up over the pitcher's head so he couldn't glove it, and then it just trickled through the middle infield. I feel like the middle infielders always give Ardois a lot of room back up the middle because he knows good pull side power and good opposite field power. He very rarely goes back up the middle.
And if this one comes back to haunt you, if you're the Academy, you're going to lose sleep over a hit like that. Here's another soft hit single into right field. Back-to-back weak pieces of contact, but it puts 2 runners on base for San Luis Obispo.
You get 2 base hits that don't even combine to 130 miles an hour and exit velocity. That's pretty insane. .78 on that one.
Well, here's the anti-soft contact batter in Gavin Smith. When he runs into him, he crushes him. Especially last night when he hit one off the top of the fence in center field. Takes a called strike on a sweeper for strike 1 here, though. He walked the first time he was up and was forced out at second base on a Drew Raymond grounder. Ardois at second and Murillo at first. Smith represents the tying run at the dish. From the stretch, the 0-1. Gavin with a long swing and a miss fouls it straight back for strike 2. Smith wearing no sunglasses tonight. Typically in games that start during daylight, the glasses stay on until at least the 6th inning, I would say. But no rays right now. Hands resting in front of his belly and awaits the 0-2 offering from Lopez, who takes his time getting a sign. Time is called at home. The big right-hander rests his glove on his front hip with an empty bullpen for the Academy. Jaden Turner is still getting loose for the Blues. I would imagine he'd come in the next frame. The 0-2. Yank slider gets underneath the wickets of Buckley behind home, and now 2 runners in scoring position for the Blues as Ardois and Murillo advance an extra 90 feet.
The Blues will take that. They'll take almost anything they can get. Must-win game, and they're already down 3-0. That moves 2 runners in scoring position. You have an opportunity with a base hit to cut the lead to 1.
And Gavin Smith always clutch with runners in scoring position here, trying to continue that legacy as the infield plays in a 1-2 count and nobody out. Here's the windup and a slider on the outside corner, strike 3. A pitcher's pitch, and Gavin Smith goes down looking for the first out of the 4th.
Yeah, definitely not the result Gavin Smith wanted, a called strike 3. That was right there for him on the outer part of the plate. He's got to expand a little bit in 2-strike counts. Usually it's something Smith does, but right there a little more passive. Doesn't pay off.
A big out for Lopez, and here comes the lefty Drew Raymond against the righty Lopez. First pitch. Raymond takes a dotted fastball for strike 1. The Spokane, Washington native has Division I baseball in his blood. His father played at San Diego State from 92 to 96, and now here Raymond is at Santa Clara College with the Broncos. 0-1. It's a tapper off the end of the bat. Second baseman Belfonte leaps and throws it over to first, but it scores Sam Ardois from third. RBI ground out for Drew Raymond. That's the first run of the day for the Blues, and the crowd rejoices.
The crowd is definitely very happy. They're getting their discounted beer and wine on a productive out from Andrew Raymond.
2 outs now. The Blues have brought it within 2 against the Academy, and it's Cam Andrews who grounded out to third the last time he was up. First pitch, and he takes a ball inside, 1-0. Murillo advanced to third base on that ground ball. The 1-0 pitch is taken down the heart of the plate for strike 1. Cam batted .289 this past season for the Gators at San Francisco State. Started in 10 games and played in 20. Drove in 6 with 1 homer. 1-1. Andrews takes a fastball in the outer corner, 1-2.
The goals have tied it up on the Stompers, and they have a runner in scoring position with 1 out. Bottom of the third there. It's San Bruno.
First place in the CCL North, still on the menu. Fastball missing outside, and count moves to 2-2.
The Blues got to win to get to that number 1 seed if Sonoma loses.
Deuce's wild offering to Cam Andrews. Here it comes. Yanked fastball outside. It fills up the count at 3-2. Gavin Constantine, the 9-hole hitter, awaits on deck. Andrews fouls off the payoff pitch and will do it again.
It's a big at-bat for Andrews, too. He's really struggled in his last couple of starts, but has an opportunity right here to leave it all behind him with an RBI knock, and the Blues would take it big time.
The 3-2. Andrews bounces it to short, and a pick by Nielsen. He stumbles and throws to first. They got him. Great athleticism by the former two-sport athlete from Hawaii, J.J. Nielsen, to keep that play alive and gun down Andrews at first base. But the Blues score a run on an RBI groundout from Drew Raymond, and they bring it within 2. It's 3-1 Academy as we head into the 5th inning on the Slow Blues streaming network.
sponsoring last innings.
New noodle for the San Luis Obispo Blues in the top half of the fifth inning. It's the righty from Montana and a Cal State Northridge commit, Jaden Turner, pitching in his final outing in a Blues uniform this summer. Charlie Royal's day is done. 4 innings of work, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. He faces the lefty Tommy Gooden, who is 1 for 2 today. First pitch. Gooden takes it outside, 1-0.
And now they got to deal with Jaden Turner, who might have thrown the most fastballs in all of the CCL this year. He's at almost 300 fastballs.
1-0 and another fastball cut on and missed by Gooden for strike 1.
And on top of that, you're going to see a slider, a heavy slider, with a curveball and a changeup. This 4-pitch mix for Jaden Turner, but mentioned a lot of fastballs.
Gooden late on a fastball here, 1-2 now.
And it's going to run up into the high 80s, even the low 90s. He's topped out at 92 this summer in the CCL.
Here's the 1-2. Gooden takes high, 2-2. And the fastball is certainly the most competitive pitch for Jaden Turner. That's definitely what he is most confident in. He'll go fastball, 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 and then all of a sudden snap a slider at you and hitters go fishing. Goes for a fastball here, but it's yanked in the dirt. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Or check that, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Last time Turner made an appearance, it was against the Legends on July 20th. Called strike 3 on a 4-seamer here. Jaden Turner sits down Tommy Gooden, the Vanderbilt Commodore, for the first out of the 5th.
Yeah, that's what Jaden Turner does. He strikes out a lot of batters. Not surprised he's starting his outing with a strikeout here.
Turner this summer has struck out 24 in his 24 innings of work. 24 is second on the team to Ryan Featherston, who has 29. First pitch, and it's taken for a ball, 1-0. Jason Del Villar, speaking of K's, has struck out twice today. Yanked fastball outside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Villar in a closed-off stance, facing the flame-throwing righty. Off-speed pitch, tried to hit the outside corner, but missed just a little bit. 3 balls and no strikes.
Turner, as you mentioned, his last outing, rightfully so, got an opportunity to play Division I baseball for a couple years at a community college.
Misses outside, that's ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Jason Del Villar. It's the first time he's reached base today.
Also extends that insane streak he has this year where he's reached base safely now in 26 of his 27 games.
Here's Antonio Lujan with a runner on first now. Lujan 0 for 1. Ground ball out to first and a walk. Left-handed batter. Swings at the first pitch and underneath the glove of Tollerman at first base. Base hit brings Del Villar from first all the way to third. They try to back pit him at first base, and no one was watching. The second base umpire calls him out, and he didn't even see the play.
The first base umpire was in La La Land. He was standing halfway between home and first, and he was staring at the bowl in left center field.
Literally no one watched that play.
No, I mean, it looked like the second base umpire who called him out was watching, but I'm so lost as to what that umpire was doing.
He was looking over at third, it looked like, because Del Villar went from first to third, and I think the cut or the relay went to Sam Ardois. Instead of going to third, he back-picked over to first, and I think that umpire was anticipating a play at third.
I would be livid as a coach.
And they're not even going to review this one. The runner is out at first base. Antonio Lujan is tagged out by Zach Tollerman, and a headsy play from Sam Ardois to go that way.
I mean, you're already down an umpire with a 3-man crew. the first base umpire was not covering any bags. Is usually what happens on a play like that. The base umpire has second. I should say the third base umpire is second. The home plate umpire is going to run down the line and make a call at third if needed. This first base umpire then has to sit in the middle and cover both first and home, the two bags that are least likely to have a play anywhere.
Buckley takes the 0-1, low and outside, 1-1.
So they had the rotations perfect, but then the first base umpire was not watching either of the bags that he was supposed to be.
Only seen that one a handful of times. 1-1. And Buckley takes off the plate, 2-1.
But yes, on a note more Blues-esque, that was a great play from Sam Ardois to cut that off and then make a strong throw to first, right in Tollerman's mitt, right at the bag.
Yeah, it wasn't rushed or anything. It was perfectly placed. 2-1. Buckley swings and misses for strike two.
Buckley was trying to send that ball to a Tascadero.
Deuce is wild to Nigel Buckley, who's 0 for 2 today. 2-2 misses high. Switch hitter. Check that. The right-handed batter from Carson. A redshirt sophomore. 3-2. Buckley pops it up down the right field line. Hixenbaugh might have a play on it, and he slides and makes the catch. What a snare by Jake Hixenbaugh. He has just been a highlight reel in the outfield this summer. Well, it gets Turner out the jam and holds the Barons to a scoreless top of the fifth. We're halfway through at Sinsheimer, and the Barons lead 3-1 over the Blues on the SLO Blues streaming network. Halfway home at Sinsheimer Stadium, and the Blues escape a jam in the top half of the fifth inning, capitalized by a nice sliding catch from Jake Hixenbaugh in right field. Leading off the frame against Frankie Lopez, it's Gavin Constantine. First pitch, Constantine pokes it the opposite way, and it bleeds into right field for a base hit. 72-mile-an-hour base hit for Gavin Constantine, and it gets things going for the Blues in the fifth. That is just the fourth base hit of the entire summer for Constantine. And I talked about it a little earlier. It's better late than never to get going this summer. And that's exactly what Gavin's doing right now. He's 1 for 2 today. Constantine, after a 10-day hiatus, pulls up and collects his fourth base hit. And we'll flip it to the top of the order in E.J. Royal, who knows a thing or two about base hits this summer as the everyday leadoff man, and 42 hits to his name. First pitch misses high, 1-0 from Frankie Lopez. EJ today, though, is 0 for 2. He reached on error in the first and lined out to right field. Now here he is with Constantine inching off first base and EJ hitching in the right-handed batter's box. Pick over to first. Constantine's back with a head-first dive. A beautiful Wednesday afternoon at Sinsheimer Stadium as the sun sets behind Madonna Mountain and the fog slowly rolls in, a brisk breeze sweeping through the coastal valley in San Luis Obispo. Here's the 1-0. EJ takes a changeup for a called strike, 1-1. Royal has struck out 19 times compared to his 23 walks, and that's where he has an edge on, I would say, 90% of the hitters in the CCL. 1-1. Royal takes another off-speed pitch, hit in the outside corner, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now you got to tough enough with 2 here. We saw EJ line one out to right field the last time he was up, and that's where he lives. Middle and opposite way. He works on it in batting practice every single day, having hard contact to hit to the right-handed hitter's backside. With no outs, Blues trailing 3-1 in the bottom of the 5th. The 1-2 flutters outside the zone, 2 balls and 2 strikes. It was a slider, and Royal watched it all the way in. Well, the home plate umpire had a zone that was expanded away from right-handed hitters, and that has seemed to be a little more condensed into a smaller zone as we've entered the halfway point of this ball game. Royal shakes his hands behind his right ear, a move over to first, and Constantine's back in time. The wind blowing out to left field. You can see pockets of sunshine in the distance of the yellow hills decorated in green bushes. A condensed, thick fog just over those hills. 2-2. EJ with a long swing and a miss for strike 3. Just Royals' 20th strikeout of the summer in 168 plate appearances, and that's the first out of the 5th inning. So following the leadoff single from Gavin Constantine, EJ Royal strikes out, and Jake Hixenbaugh steps up to the plate. Hixenbaugh has all the momentum in the world after making a nice sliding catch in foul territory to end the top half of the 5th inning. I talked about how the Blues were in a jam. Well, the Barons had a runner in scoring position and threatening to add on to their 3-1 lead. Hixenbaugh swings at the first pitch and bounces it foul behind home plate. The catcher thought it might have been a fair ball, and Buckley tagged him just in case. But instead, it's strike 1 to Jake Hixenbaugh, the left-handed batter from Colorado State Pueblo, a recent commit after playing at Monterey Peninsula College for a couple of years. He was a standout utility player at Atascadero High School just up the road from Sinsheimer. A great 4-year varsity career with the Greyhounds, but now he's entering his junior year of college and will be playing Division II baseball in the Centennial State. 0-1 count to Hixenbaugh with 1 out, and he takes that outside, 1 ball and a strike. A slider from Frankie Lopez that slipped out of the fingertips a little bit, and Buckley had to slide to his left. The outfield slightly playing towards the pull side of the left-handed hitting Hixenbaugh, who wears a faded white-colored shin guard on his right leg. Sits still in the batter's box with a slightly open stance, 1-1. Hixenbaugh takes a fastball outside, 2 balls and a strike now. Jake in the driver's seat against Frankie Lopez as Hixenbaugh is 1 for 2 today. A single in the 3rd and reached on fielder's choice in the 1st. Was caught stealing at second base in the 3rd inning off a nice pop time from Buckley behind the dish. Here's the 2-1. Hixenbaugh pokes it high and foul down the 3rd base line. This one lands out of the stadium, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jake takes a deep breath and circles the batter's box, with Zach Tollerman standing on deck. ZT is 0 for 1 today. The infield playing halfway in against the left-handed hitting Hixenbaugh, who is starting in right today. Pick over to first, and back in time is Constantine. Gavin led off this inning with a single, a bloop single at that into right for his 4th base hit of the summer. A batting average well below 100 with the Blues, but after a 10-day hiatus, has reached base with a single. The 2-2. Hixenbaugh takes just high, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now Constantine is getting a pretty conservative lead off first base. Only 2 stolen bags this summer. not wanting to take a risk trailing by 2 against the Academy. With 1 out, here's the payoff. Runner goes, Hicksonbaugh swings and hits it into right field, a base hit. Constantine rounds second and heads into third standing. Jake Hicksonbaugh with his second hit of the afternoon. Hicksonbaugh riding a 7-game hit streak, and he does so with a hard hit single that rolled through the infield and into right. That brings the tying run on base and Hicksonbaugh. Coming up, it's Zach Tollerman as the Barons will have a meeting at the mound. The pitching coach really taking his time getting to the hill as Frankie Lopez awaits and the entire infield converges. Zach Tollerman 0 for 1 today with a strikeout looking in the third, and his first at-bat of the game he walked and was stranded at first base. All a part of a summer that he is having where he gets deep into counts and is very selective with his pitches. Tollerman is a guy who, if you put it in the zone, he's going to do some damage, and that was reflected on his slugging that was above 500 for a majority of the summer. But now what's mostly fueling that OPS of 967 is his 486 on-base percentage. Tollerman either seems to walk or strike out looking, but if you get that bat off the shoulders and he swings at strikes, it can be lethal, and he's had some opportunities to do so today, but just hasn't quite come through. Right now would be an excellent chance to do that. When he does swing the stick, he has 7 extra base hits, 4 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs. Runners at the corners with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Tollerman takes the first offering low and outside. It's 1 ball, no strikes to ZT. Tollerman is a former Spartan from San Jose State University, attempted to petition for another year of eligibility at the Division I level. Didn't get it, and he will opt to play independent league baseball. 1-0. Tollerman grounds it to short. Weird hop. He'll take second himself and throw it over to first. A double play that ends the inning. The run will not count. Gavin Constantine does not score, and Zach Tollerman grounds into his second double play of the summer. The Blues still trail 3-1 against the Academy Barons as we head into the 6th inning on the SLO Blues streaming network. Leading it off against Jaden Turner in the top half of the sixth inning, it's Jacob Klinowski. Klinowski is first pitch swinging and fouls it into the parking lot down the left field line, and that's strike one. Jacob is 1 for 2 today, a single in the fourth and a ground ball out to second base in the second inning. If you listen to that last name, Klinowski, I'm sure it rings a couple of Eastern European bells to you. You would be correct. Jacob takes a pitch inside, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. It's listed on his player profile on the Cal State East Bay page that he has a couple of favorite snacks he likes to eat. And I had no idea what they were prior to Googling them. Klinowski flinches and takes a pitch outside, 2-1. He likes to eat Karachi paprikas, which in Slovakian translates to paprika chicken. Looks pretty good. It's like kind of macaroni and chicken with paprika oil. Takes it high here. With haluski, which translates to potato salad, and palachinki, which is pancake in Slovakian. 3-1. Fouled straight back, 3-2.
I commend you for even saying those words. Trying to.
You got to, right? As a broadcaster, got to nail them. So paprika chicken with potato salad, and then wash it down with, it's not really a pancake, it's more like a crepe-looking dessert. Looks good. I was judgmental at first, I'm not going to lie. Turner gets his sign from the catcher, Andrews, and time is called at the plate.
Yeah, I mean, we both kind of were because we Googled just the first part, Karachi paprikas, and it was...
the accent!
And it was like, it kind of just looked like a hodgepodge of like this weird red oil with some macaroni.
3-2, fouled away.
But then we did some more investigating, and it looks like quite the dish.
I think a lot of the photos we were seeing had low chicken ratios. Mm-hmm. It just looked like oil.
Yeah.
But once we saw that there was actually more chicken than what was depicted, I was all in.
Yeah, I mean, this is a classic Slovakian. I mean, listens to house music too.
Oh,
that's
absolutely
big in that area.
Yep. Well, as he draws a walk here, I famously visited Croatia in the summer of 23.
Very famously.
And the house music scene there, ginormous. The clubbing scene in Eastern Europe is just, there's nothing like it. They don't start clubbing until like 1.
Dude, I know. I've never experienced, but I have heard.
I remember going out, it was like 11:30. I'm like, this should be good. And there was like no one there. I was like, did we miss it? No. Hasn't even started. Klinowski is American, though. He's at first now after the walk, as this pitch is taken inside from J.J. Nielsen. Second walk issued from Jaden Turner, a leadoff base runner. Second leadoff walk of the day for the Barons. 1-0. Nielsen takes outside, 2-0. Turner from the stretch with a runner at first. 2-0. Nielsen sends it straight back for strike one. You're talking about food. Nielsen is what formerly went to a college that is in a state that I think is the most underrated food in the United States, Hawaii. I think burgers and fries and dogs, barbecue, that's all good and well. But I think Hawaiian food takes the cake.
Really? Okay.
Ryan's looking at me with the most judgmental face right now.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Hawaiian food, to be fully honest. But I am going to Hawaii in about a month, so maybe that'll change.
I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, it's not too crazy.
That's true.
A lot of chicken and rice variations with some greens. Barbecue chicken with pineapple.
Mm-hmm.
Texas barbecue is probably better. But it's up there. Slider and a called strike here, 2-2.
We never had Texas barbecue. Well, from that area.
Yeah. Nashville hot chicken, anyone? Any ball knowers? 2-2, fouled away.
My family was definitely a beach family growing up. So we went to Florida. We went to Alabama. We went to Georgia, yeah.
What?
Yeah, we went to South Carolina.
It's a good one.
Yeah, Hawaii a few times for sure. Lots of cruises.
You know you live in California, right? You can just
Yeah.
go to the beach here. Snap throw to first, and Klinowski's in there in time, standing.
See, there's a difference because, yes, we could go to the beach here, but the beaches up where I live, the water is 49 degrees, and on a good day, the sun is out. So,
Alabama, though.
dude, Gulf Shores is beautiful.
Payoff pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. J.J. Nielsen gets a bottle of hot sauce, and that's the first out of the 6.
As much as I dislike the South at times, Gulf Shores was gorgeous. It was beautiful. We went out. It was actually my family and I did a blind vacation. So somebody planned the trip for us, like booked our flights, booked our hotel room, and we gave them an outline of what we wanted to do, and they sent us to Gulf Shores. It was really nice.
First pitch is sent up the middle off the bat of Alejandro Torres at 98. Klinowski moves into second, and Torres at first with a one-out single.
Torres putting himself together a pretty productive day. He's reached base safely twice. He's stolen a bag and has a sac fly. 1 for 2.
Top of the order now, Nathaniel Williams 0 for 3 with a couple of fly ball outs and a grounder to second. The switch hitter drills this one into center for a base hit. Murillo dives but can't get there. Here comes Klinowski to the plate. The throw goes to third. Feet first slide. Got him! Runner is gunned down at third. It's Alejandro Torres who gets hosed, but the run will count.
A hit, a run, and an out all in one play. What was bang bang over at third base. But a good decision from E.J. Royal to just get an out at third. And I love what Constantine did there. He kind of just stood up on the base as if the ball wasn't coming to him. And then just as the ball took a bounce a couple feet in front of him, he got in an athletic stance and swiped the tag. And I think it caught the runner going to third and Torres a little off guard. A good throw from Royal on a one-hop.
First pitch misses low to Cole Belfonte for ball 1. And Royal lost the hat on that throw. It was on the money to third base. So a runner at second now. Williams advanced on the throw. 1-0 to Belfonte. Takes outside, 2-0.
Blues do find themselves in a bigger hole now. Give up that run that they got back in the bottom of the 4th inning. It's been an uphill climb all day long.
Turner stands in from the stretch with no sleeves on a cool night at Sinsheimer Stadium. 2-0. Takes outside, 3-0. Belfonte 0 for 2 today. Reached on error, scored, walked, and flew out to center. And for the Blues, a righty from Lafayette and a leopard, Chase Rogers getting loose. The 3-0. 4-pitch walk as the ball gets away from Andrews behind the dish, and Williams advances to third. Turner came in to cover home, but Williams will stay on the bag at third base. So runners are at the corners now as Belfonte has walked for the second time today. Meeting at the mound, and Dean Traynor, the manager for the Blues, heads out there.
He hasn't made a move yet, but he did just send pitching coach Brian Traynor down to the bullpen to see if the righty was ready. And now he points towards the bullpen.
New pitcher, it's Chase Rogers. We'll tell you more about him right after this. He faces Tommy Gooden with 2 outs in the 6th inning on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. New noodle for the Blues. It's Chase Rogers, the right-hander from Lafayette University, making his 11th appearance of the summer for the Blues. He's pitched in 14 innings and allowed just 2 earned runs, 7 strikeouts to his 3 walks. First pitch swinging is the home run leader and Tommy Gooden as he skies it into left, and Raymond makes the flat-footed catch for the final out of the inning. A pitch in and out. Chase Rogers gets out of it, and we head into the bottom half of the 6th, brought to you by EECU. Blues Trail.
We have a
Sam Arjois is the first batter for the Blues to face the new pitcher out of the pen for the Academy Barons. Blanchette, Adrian Blanchette from UC Riverside, replaces Frankie Lopez, who had a pretty nice day. 5 innings of work, 5 hits, only 1 earned run allowed, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So now the Blues hoping to turn it around here, now trailing 4-1 against the Academy. They tacked on another run with an RBI single from Nathaniel Williams in the past half frame. First pitch to Arjois is a called strike, 0-1.
Adrian Blanchette is making his 10th appearance in the previous 9, 13 in the third, 7 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, 19 strikeouts to his 6 walks. Big strikeout guy.
Yeah, 19 and 13 in the third innings of work as Arjois swings and misses here for strike 2.
He's also yet to give up an extra base hit this year. That is 13 in the third innings pitched. No triples, no doubles, most importantly, no home runs.
That's pretty good. Last time he was out there, it was a 2-inning day against the Bombers on July 18th. 3 strikeouts and 1 walk, facing 7 batters in those 2 innings. 0-2. Arjois spoils a fastball down the right field line and foul. We'll do it again. Well, Blanchette pitched against the Blues on the infamous June 20th game where the Blues lost 20-4. He pitched in 2 innings there, struck out 1 and faced 7. A dark night at Sinsheimer as the clouds roll in early again. 0-2. Arjois sends it the opposite way, and it will land foul and out of play. Once more, no balls and 2 strikes.
And Blanchette's going to come at you with a 2-pitch mix, really. It's a heavy fastball, sitting around 90 miles an hour, but can top out north of 92. And then a slider that's in the low 80s. He will also throw a sweeper and a curveball, but very rarely.
Stands in from the stretch as he dangles his right arm and comes set at the belly. He strides and shoots on the 0-2. Arjois takes in the dirt, 1-2 now. Blanchette has only allowed an earned run in one game. It was against the Saints on June 29th, where he allowed 4 in 1 inning. Kind of a blip in the season. 1-2, Ardois buckled up on an off speed for strike 3. He doesn't like it, but it was right there. Ardois goes down looking for the second time today.
Dan, Ardois might have a case there. Technology has that ball about a ball in and down.
So here's Murillo now, a 1-for-2 day. Grounded to second and singled in the 4th. Was stranded on third base in the 4th inning. Murillo swings and misses for strike 1. 93-mile-an-hour cheddar.
It's his hardest pitch he's thrown all summer.
Outfield shifting in on Murillo. The center fielder Torres to the left side of second base from his perspective. From our perspective here in the booth, there's 2 to the right of second base in the outfield, and they're playing awfully shallow to Diego too.
I think they saw how late he was on that first pitch fastball and figured if he puts the ball in play, it's going the other way.
0-2. Murillo pokes it foul. I mean, if you're really thinking about it, a lot of his base hits are up the middle and shallow right center gap.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad spot to be shaded if you're the center fielder, Torres.
The 0-2. Swings and misses, strike 3. Murillo goes down hacking for the second out of the 6th. Back-to-back Ks for Blanchette.
That's what Blanchette does. Big strikeout guy. It's number 21 in 14 innings of work.
Now it's the 0-for-1 Gavin Smith, coming off a rocket night last night against the San Diego Bombers. Today he has struck out looking and walked. A very quiet night for the Blues offense. 5 hits in 6 innings so far. Only 1 run to show for it. The run that scored in the 4th inning came off an RBI groundout from Drew Raymond. With 2 outs, the 1-0. Smith right over a slider for strike 1, and that's been a problem pitch for Gavin this summer. 1-1 count to a strikeout first pitcher in Adrian Blanchette, who just checked into the game for Frankie Lopez. Lopez dealt, and Blanchette appears to be on the same track. 1-1. Smith swings and misses at a fastball here for strike 2. Drew Raymond stands on deck with the bases empty. 2 outs and a 1-2 count to the Harvard outfielder Gavin Smith. 1-2. Smith foul tips it at home plate off the leg of Buckley, and we'll do it again. Gavin has struck out 26 times to his 8 walks.
Definitely been a rough year in terms of the walks to strikeouts, but he does have 26 hits to accompany the 26 strikeouts. That is a good ratio.
Driven in 20 as well.
That leads the team.
1-2. Buckled up on a slider, and he will sit down for strike 3. 3 up, 3 down, all by way of the K. Blues go in order in the bottom of the 6th, and we head into the 7th. They trail 4-1 against the Barons. Brian Giacomini's got you rest of the way on the SLO Blues Streaming Network.
Back here on the top half of the 7th inning. Blues trail it by 3, looking to mount a comeback in the last third. First, they will have to get out Del Villar, Lujan, and Buckley. Those are the 3 due up. With a close stance, it'll be the first baseman, Jason Del Villar, who has reached base safely in 26 of his 27 CCL games, as he watches ball 1 from Chase Rogers, who came into the game in the 6th inning and recorded a 1-pitch out to end the 6th. This one is behind the back feet of Jason Del Villar, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Del Villar also plays second base and recently committed to play baseball with the Lobos, or excuse me, not the Lobos, with the Otters at CSU Monterey Bay, as he rips this one to third. One hopping on the backhand is Gavin Constantine. He makes the long throw across the diamond to Zach Tullerman for the first out.
It's a great play by Gav right there. Quick reaction time, catch it right in front of your chest. You're in a squat position. Reset your feet, make the throw to first.
I mean, they call it the hot corner for a reason. Right there, that one was smoked, hot off the press, and right at Constantine. It'll bring up Antonio Lujan, who is 1 for 2 today, a walk, a ground out, and a base hit. But in the game yesterday, he balled out against the Arroyo Seco Saints in their 5-3 loss. Went 3 for 4 with a double and a pair of RBIs. First pitch to him is swung on and grounded to second. Murillo will play it and throw it to first for the second out. Quick 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. Rogers is dealing.
These guys have quick at-bats, don't they?
Yeah, it's either really quick at-bats or just these really long 9, 10 pitch at-bats.
As a broadcaster, you're always taught prep for a 5-hour game, hope for a 2-hour and 30-minute game. That's how the saying goes. There's been some nuggets on some guys that I really want to get to, actually.
Now it's the Toro from CSU Dominguez Hills, stepping in against the Sidewinder Rogers as he watches ball 1. A redshirt sophomore from Carson, California, watches a slider that couldn't quite slide back into the zone. Started almost behind Buckley and was just inside off the plate. It's 2 balls and no strikes. This season, batting .241 with no extra base hits. So slugging matches as he fouls this one between the legs of Andrews.
And that kind of reflects his season, or it doesn't really reflect the season he had at Cal State's Dominguez Hills. 12 doubles and 2 homers for a 457 slugging.
Yeah, that'll play.
Sure will, and 151 at-bats. That's legit.
Swinging and missing here as the deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. We go all the way back to his time at Sarah High School, too. His his junior year of varsity baseball, he had a 1060 slugging and a 1734 OPS. It's a good sample size, too, with 83 at-bats. That one is fouled back. A sinker from Chase Rogers.
Yeah, for high school, absolutely, because keep in mind, they play a way shorter season than college does.
Those are ungodly numbers. 10 doubles, a triple, and 7 home runs.
Yeah.
And 83 at-bats. I mean, you're getting an extra base hit almost a fifth of the time you're coming to the plate. So he watches that one and the count runs full.
Senior season, I mean, wasn't the same production as much, but still pretty good, man. I mean, a 615 slugging at 1063 OPS is nothing to excuse.
Full count offering. It's swung on. A broken back grounder to Constantine. He makes a strong throw to first. It's on the money. 3 ground outs for Chase Rogers in this inning, and he sits him down in order. He's faced 4, and 4 are retired. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Blues looking to cut into this 3-run lead for the Barons on the SLO Blues streaming network. Drew Raymond will lead it off in the bottom of the 7th as Blues look to cut into this 3-run lead for the Barons, but they have a tall task ahead of them facing Adrian Blanchette, who struck out the side in his first inning of work, two of which were looking. Those two are Dwa and Gavin Smith. As the catcher, Buckley, calls time, and he's going to go out and talk with his big right-hander, make sure they're on the same page before this crucial 7th inning. As we give you an update on these other games that affect the Blues playoff race. The Goals and the Stompers are tied at 4 apiece in the top of the 6th inning. Reese Appleby working in that game. 2 outs and a runner on first. And Dad's Merchants, top 8, tied at 2. A pitcher's duel and a nail-biter down in Alameda. The Blues looking to win this game and drop that magic number to make the playoffs to 3. So now after about a minute, here's the first pitch to Andrew Raymond, the leadoff hitter. That's a fastball. It's dropped by the catcher, but a called strike. And got some information on why the two were probably discussing. It was because this twilight sky and the white backdrop, it makes it hard to see the signs that the catchers are throwing down. So they're probably going to some sort of physical signal, whether it's a tap on the arm or something along those lines. It's probably relatively easy with this pitcher because he's a two-pitch guy. It's a fastball and a slider.
Right, and we know historically that it is hard to see things at this time of night, too.
From the stretch, here's the 1-1. Swung on and hit off the end of the bat and into left center field. They can't see it out there in the twilight sky, and it's going to drop for a base hit.
We have entered the twilight zone, Ryan.
Yeah, I couldn't even see that ball. I just knew that it was headed towards center and tailing, and the center fielder never got a beat on it. The left fielder did, but he was just a little too far away. It works as a leadoff base runner on a hit for Drew Raymond, and it'll bring up Cam Andrews, who's grounded out a couple of times today. Andrews is 0 for his last 7, looking to right the ship here in a big spot. As he watches a first pitch fastball up near his hands for ball 1. Cam Andrews, today's backstop in that rotation for the Blues. He is playing in his 16th game today. Started in 15, including today's. He fouls that one back. 1 ball and a strike. He was an Olympic League Gold Glove winner back in high school in 2021, an SVG All-Star Game selection in 2022, and a 2-time Under Armour preseason All-American. Coveted high school career. Then he committed to SF State to play some Division II ball. Currently uncommitted after their program went under. Here's the 1-1. Swung on a miss. The slider that was off the plate, and Andrews offered.
It's hard to pick up spin rotation right now, no matter what pitch, what hand it's coming out of. The hitter's really having to lock in here. We've heard some batters talk about, well, if you're going to get some hits, get them earlier in the day.
It definitely does not become easy when the fog rolls in, the sun drops. Here's the 1-2. It's a fastball that Andrews fouls back. He stays alive, and we'll do it again.
These are back-to-back chilly nights, too, at Sinsheimer Stadium. We're used to getting pretty cold and the fog coming in and stuff like that, but it's happening earlier and earlier, which makes it extra hard to hit a baseball hard. Gavin's last night, Gavin Smith's to dead center field was all that more impressive because it was cutting against the wind, and he hit it 395 feet into dead center.
And off the 395 sign, and straight away right under the flagpole that is blowing straight out as Andrews swings and misses at a slider for strike 3. Andrews' first strikeout of the day and a 4th strikeout for Blanchette.
Now Blanchette just keeps racking up those Ks. We kind of expected it going into this outing, just kind of looking at his numbers. You know that he's going for the K first and foremost, and that's his 4th in just an inning and a third of work.
Blanchette, originally from Irvine and Capistrano Valley Christian High School, committed to play at USC at a high school. And in his first year at USC, he didn't make any appearances, so he hit the transfer portal, found a new home with the Highlanders at UC Riverside. First pitch to Constantine is a ball, misses up and in. He got a hit and was stranded at third in his last at-bat, struck out in the second. Out of high school, Blanchette was a two-way guy, and he was the 12th ranked right-handed pitcher in the entire state with a PG grade of 10. That's perfect game, giving him a perfect 10. And looking in the nation, he was a top 50 prospect nationally in terms of right-handed pitchers. And at a PG event in 2012, he topped out at 95. 2022, he topped out at 95.
Sheesh. We've seen 93 from him today, right?
Yes, we have. Swinging and missing is Constantine. The ace is free. A ball, a strike, an out with a runner on first. Here's the 1-1. It's a fastball for a called strike, too. That one clipped the outside part. Constantine did an offer at it. Small leadoff first from Drew. He's recorded 3 stolen bases this year as Constantine swings and misses at the slider for strike 3. For the Blues so far against Blanchette, it's strikeout or base hit. 5 strikeouts and a base hit. Constantine goes down swinging for the second time today.
Yeah, ever since Blanchette has come in, it's just been Ks galore. I got red Ks all over my scorebook in these past 2 frames.
Blues are just having a tough time picking him up. And rightfully so. He's been pretty disgusting with that slider fastball mix. Been working the pitches in well together. Probably has his toughest task of the day with E.J. Royal, the leadoff hitter. And the dish, as the first pitch is a slider. That is blocked to the right by Buckley, and he tracks it down before Drew can move up to second. I don't think Drew has any intentions of going, even though he has good speed. Blanchette pumping in 93, and it's a quick load to the plate. And the missile from Buckley behind the dish, who we saw earlier, most notably against Hicksonbaugh, as a slider is a called strike.
It's a good pitch.
Hicksonbaugh was the only runner who's tested the arm of Buckley, and he was out by 3 steps. With a good jump and good speed, Buckley's throw was just on the money, and it was a rocket. As fastball misses inside. 2 balls and a strike to the leadoff hitter, E.J. Royal, who's on a 4-game hitting streak. Today does not have a hit. Strikeout, a line out, and reached on an error to kick off the bottom of the first. 2-1. Swung on and fouled back. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th. Royal yesterday, though, had a very productive game. He went 2 for 3, a double, a single, a run, a hit by pitch, a walk, and an RBI. Filling up the stat sheet. In yesterday's game, the 10-3 win. Every Blue reached base safely. At least once. Here's the pitch, swung on and fouled away. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Blanchette tried to hammer inside on that fastball to Royal just like 3 pitches ago, and he missed just a tad off the plate. You could kind of see him in frustration pat his glove going, shoot, man, I got to make that pitch. The last 2 times he has made that pitch, and EJ has done a really good job spoiling it away.
EJ spent 2 years as a Cougar down the road at Cuesta before committing to play at Utah Tech. Now playing indie ball after the season with the Blues wraps up as he swings and misses for strike 3. Strikeout number 6 for Adrian Blanchette. He has struck out the side in his 2 innings of work. And coming back out, it's Chase Rogers. He'll look to put up another 0 for the Blues, who already trail by 3 to the Academy Barons on the Slow Blues streaming network. The lefty Klinowski due up, followed by two righties in J.J. Nielsen and Alejandro Torres. It's the bottom of the order for the Barons. The top half of the 8th inning to face the sidewinder Chase Rogers, who's already thrown an inning and a third of work, and a flyout and 3 groundouts. First pitch is swung on and hammered to left field over the head of Hicksonbaugh as he flips his shoulders. He's not going to grab it. It one hops the wall. Hicksonbaugh picks it up and throws it all the way to second base. A leadoff double on the first pitch for Klinowski, 98 off the bat.
Yeah, perfect on that one from Chase Rogers. Klinowski catches all barrels. I thought for a second Hicksonbaugh might have a chance. We knew off the bat that he'd get burnt going back towards the wall, and I thought at a last-second extension he'd be able to make the catch, but clearly not enough. It's just hit way too hard to make any adjustment.
And that ball was just crushed to the pull side. Hicksonbaugh, good fielder with a ton of speed, read it immediately, even in the twilight sky, but with a leap, was unable to make the grab. Rogers gives up his first hit of the day as first pitch to J.J. Nielsen as a called strike. Nielsen also has an extra base hit today. It was an RBI triple in the 4th. That's sandwiched in between a base hit and a strikeout. A huge slider with a ton of late movement, but not quite enough. Buckling the knees was Nielsen as it was just a bit inside. Rogers this season has been a really solid arm for the Blues out of the bullpen as he gets a swing and a miss from Nielsen and is ahead 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's only given up 2 earned runs in his 14 innings, make that 15 and a third innings of work. But the Barons are threatening to make it 3 with a leadoff runner in scoring position. It's his 14th hit he's given up this summer in 15 and a third innings. That's a good ratio. There's the 1-2. Swung on a miss for strike 3. First strikeout of the day for Chase Rogers. Gets Nielsen. Now bring up Alejandro Torres.
There's some funky movement on that slider there from Rogers, and you get an uncomfortable swing and a miss from J.J. Nielsen. That'll move the needle a little bit. 1 out here in the 8th.
Rogers, not a huge strikeout guy. That's just strikeout number 8 in his 15 and 2/3. Just going to get a lot of soft contact with that weird arm slot and the good movement on his pitches. And that's what we saw to the first 4 batters he faced before Klinowski crushed a double. First pitch, it's a chopper foul. Torres has put himself together a pretty good day down in the 9 slot, a bounce-back day after going 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts yesterday against the Saints. Reached on a fielder's choice and stole second, recorded a sac fly in the 4th, and a base hit in the 6th. He was thrown out at third on a Nathaniel Williams base hit. He sends the 0-1 in the air. Hard to see, but Royal is going to grab it and straightaway center, no tag. But he goes to second base. Diving back is Klinowski as he is in there safely. E.J. Royal tried to pull a trick out of his hat to end the inning.
Yeah, Klinowski kind of froze there off second base. I don't think he was anticipating Royal to send that throw into the bag. He almost got him there.
That was a headsy play from Royal. He shifted his shoulders as if he was going to throw it to third and then kind of just threw it across his body. And Murillo, who was standing on the bag, was ready for it. And it was a good throw. It was right at the bag, but Klinowski saw it in just enough time. First pitch to the leadoff hitter, Nathaniel Williams, is a ball. Switch hitting third baseman is 1 for 4 today, an RBI base hit in the 6th, a flyout, a lineout, and a groundout. Yesterday's game, he also went 1 for 4. It was in their 5-3 loss to the Saints. He had a run, a walk, and a strikeout as he crushes that one down the line, but it's foul. The Blues in today's game have 5 hits. They have gone down, 6 hits, and have not scored a run since the 4th. Their only run came on an RBI groundout, so they're looking to solidify their playoff spot. 1-1, a slider that misses away. 2 balls and a strike. Williams, brothers with Williams, who let it off last night as he fouls that one off. That was Thomas Williams, his older brother. Daniel Williams going into his redshirt sophomore year at Santa Ana College, where he spent the last 2 years with the Dons. Didn't play the 2024 season, but last year got a much increased role, 126 at-bats, where he recorded 40 hits, 22 walks to his 18 strikeouts with a .429 slugging. Yeah, you can play in Nate and I's lineup any day of the week.
Well, and Williams, too, I think appears to be somewhat of a late bloomer. He was second-team All-League his senior season at Ocean View, and you can just kind of tell he's tacked on some weight, he's tacked on some power.
That one's chopped on the infield. Artois will pump it in his glove, and the strong throw to first is not in time. Racing down the line was Nathaniel Williams to beat out that infield single.
Man, that was a rocket from Artois, though. It doesn't matter, though, because Williams got a really good beat out of the batter's box. Switch hitter batting left-handed, has a shorter route over to first, and I think Artois saw that at the last second and hummed it over to first, but Williams beat it out.
Yeah, maybe just a small mistake there from Artois when he fielded it. He took a pump in his glove, kind of probably just his natural routine.
Yeah.
But it allowed Williams to beat it out. And now you have runners on the corners with 2 outs for Cole Belfonte. First pitch, it's a fastball. It misses up for ball 1. Belfonte today has drawn a couple of walks, reached on an error and scored, and flew out. This season, no extra base hits for him in his 22 at-bats. Coming into today with 6 hits and an RBI. He swings and chops this one foul past the third base coach. Evens up at a ball and a strike.
Man, a pitcher taking a tumble, hopping over the bullpen twice. I don't know who that is.
Not having a good day.
No.
Having some fun down in the Barons bullpen as the 1-1 is a slider that misses inside. 2 balls and a strike.
I mean, they've earned it. Up 4-1 over the Blues.
Trying to bounce back after their loss to the Saints yesterday. They did beat the Saints 2 days ago. Then they beat the Philippines the day before that. The Bombers on the 18th. And then prior to that, a massive 16-run loss to the Waves, as that one is a called strike 2. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with 2 runners on. And the 2-hole at the plate as Rogers looks to end the top half of the 8th inning. After Klinowski hit a leadoff double, he stands on third, following the Nathaniel Williams base hit. Runner goes. Pitch misses inside for ball 3. The count runs full to Cole Belfonte, who is a walk machine. So last year with the Rustlers, he had 26 of them in 165 at-bats. Rogers comes set at the belt. Here's the pitch. Slider misses inside, ball 4. A 2-out walk loads the bases for the Barons, and that'll give Tommy Gooden, the leader in the CCL in home runs, a chance with the Ducks on the pond.
Well, you talked about him being a walk machine, right? Well, right on cue, Cole Belfonte draws the walk, his 3rd of the afternoon. And like you said, Ryan, loads the bases. And if I were to pick from a litter of the hitters I would least want to see right now, Tommy Gooden would be up there.
First pitch, swung on and popped up. Shallow in the outfield. Raymond has a beat. He makes the grab to end the inning. So the bases are loaded. A leadoff double stranded. Chase Rogers works himself out of the jam. Blues bats are up in the bottom of the 8th inning. And a half inning brought to you by Ancient Owl on the Slow Blues streaming network. The 2-for-3 Hickson ball leads it off in the bottom half of the 8th inning, which is brought to you by Ancient Owl Beer Garden and Bottle Shop, your go-to spot for every Blues road game, located just around the corner from Sinsheimer. Ancient Owl is the official home of the Blues watch party all season long. Ancient Owl, choose your beer wisely. First pitch to Hickson ball is a called strike that clips the outer part. And back out there is Adrian Blanchette, who is shoving.
Sure is.
7 batters faced, 6 strikeouts. Also gave up a base hit on a bloop single to Andrew Raymond. But it's the red-hot Hicksonbaugh who fouls that one off. Hicksonbaugh has a 7-game hitting streak. That includes today because he is 2 for 3 with a couple of knocks. Looking to set the table for the middle of this order with the Blues trying to battle back. They have 1 run on 6 hits. Barons 4 runs on 9 hits. Here's the 0-2. It's a slider that misses away. A ball and 2 strikes to today's right fielder, who made an incredible sliding play on the foul warning track down by the Blues bullpen. Made a diving play in and to his left yesterday. He's constantly flashing the leather and right, and the bat is coming around in that 2-hole for the Blues, just like it did last year. 1-2. Slider catches the outside part for strike 3. A delayed strike 3 call from the home plate umpire that clips the zone, and that gives Blanchette strikeout number 7.
Yeah, the zone inflated just a tad there. It was a ball and a half outside of home plate. Hicksonbaugh froze up and took it for strike 3.
The zone has been inconsistent, but the one thing that has been consistent about it is it's been getting bigger and bigger and bigger as we go. As the night gets colder, the umpire's bare arms get colder as well, and he wants to move them a little bit more. Some called strikes, some punchies. Tollerman has been punchy today in the 3rd, and the first pitch hits him square between the shoulder blades. That one cannot feel good as he leaves the bat outside the right-handed batter's box and tosses off the equipment. He walks his way down the first.
Man, he gets hit by a pitch frequently. That is now the 9th of the summer for Zach Tollerman. He leads the team.
I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense because he is 6'5". It's a wider frame to hit. So I guess it would make sense that you do get hit more often. He seems to be okay. I wouldn't be surprised if Dean pinch runs for him regardless, as the Blues just need some runs here in this late inning. The pitcher checks on Tollerman and taps his chest, says, "My bad, bro. Didn't mean to do that."
I'm surprised they're not having a pinch runner here, Ryan.
Tollerman is a below-average runner over at first base and has been dealing with some back and ankle problems. He's not been running the bases at 100%. The first pitch to Ardois is a fastball. He lifts the hands, and it's called a ball. I mean, you got guys like Kosei Suzuki on the bench who's a fast runner. I mean, even Sebastian Lopez, Charlie Caruso, good running catcher.
Don't sleep on Russo.
No part of Russo's game should be slept on, as Ardois calls time. You want to sleep on his bat-to-ball skills? He'll give you 2 home runs. You want to sleep on the speed? He'll steal a bag. You want to sleep on the arm? He's going to hose you at second. The 1-0 misses in the dirt.
Caruso start day tomorrow. Stay tuned.
Yeah, Caruso. Nate and I have bias, I feel like, towards Caruso because he's just a great guy. A lot of guys on the Blues are, but he's one who will hold a conversation with Nate and I for 5-10 minutes during batting practice. We'll have a conversation. He'll go hit his batting practice round. He'll come back right out, and we'll continue the conversation. The 2-0, Ardois scissor kicks this one out of play. I mean, what don't we talk about with Caruso? We've talked movies. We've talked baseball, obviously. We've talked desserts.
Yes.
He has a love for the game and a love for anything that's movie-related, snack-related. Like, he'll just talk and talk and talk, and it's awesome as a broadcaster as Ardois watches a slider for strike 2. We just sit there and absorb all the information and then tell all of you guys it. And like Nate said earlier, plan for a 5-hour game, pray for a 2-hour and 30-minute game. Caruso constantly makes that prep for a 5-hour game easy. Tallman off first. He was plunked. Ardois in the box. It's a 2-2 count. He swings and laces this one the other way. Playing shallow is the right fielder. Klonowski, as he makes the grab, Ardois never let go of the bat. It's a line out for Ardois. He's retired for the 3rd time today.
And they got the scouting report on our boy Ardois here. The right fielder, Klonowski, was playing awfully shallow and close to the right field line. Just had to take a couple of steps moving to his left to make the play. And it looks like they will stay in that spot for Diego Murillo as the center fielder Torres dances to his walk-up song.
Well, you remember last at-bat that Murillo had against Blanchette. The center fielder, Torres, was probably 10 feet further to his left than he is right now as he makes his way in. Same with the left fielder, Lujan, disrespecting the power of Diego Murillo. As the first pitch to him is a slider for a called strike. And Murillo is definitely not a guy this summer who has banged the ball a lot. He's more of a single guy on the ground. But with the pitcher throwing 93, you would think you wouldn't come in because he's going to supply all the power Murillo needs if he can put the barrel on the ball and get a good launch angle. I mean, you're looking at a triple easily if he can hit the ball over the head of Torres. The 0-1. Swung on a miss. Murillo loses the bat.
I mean, honestly, I don't think we have seen Murillo hit a ball in the air farther than maybe 3/4 of the way into the outfield. So, I mean, Klonowski, I think, is playing too shallow. But Lujan, I think, in left field is playing at a pretty respectable depth because we've seen Murillo hit a ball that would be like 4 steps behind the left fielder Lujan. Klonowski is very shallow, though.
Yeah, I mean, they very clearly did not see Murillo's numbers at Northeastern State with the Riverhawks this last year where he slugged .412, had 11 doubles, a couple of triples, and 4 home runs. As he is behind in the count 0-2. Tollerman still stands on first. He was hit by a pitch. 0-2. Swung on and fouled off. We'll do it again.
Got some league news for you, Ryan.
Yeah?
Seagulls are now leading the Stompers 6-4.
Wow, a huge shift. And in the Walnut Creek Merchants game, the Dads have the bases loaded with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. It's still 2-2.
Oh, boy.
Things heating up in the CCL North.
Okay, so would those two offset each other? Like, say the Dads win and the Gulls win.
The Dads win and the Gulls win. The Dads are currently in 4th place. So if the Blues win and the Gulls win, the Blues jump to 1st. As the Dads just scored a pair of runs on a base hit. Murillo fouls that one off. So the Dads ahead 4-2 in the 9th. And Sonoma trailing 5-4. So, I mean, this Sonoma Stompers Seagulls game is kind of what we're watching right now because if the Blues were able to come back and mount a comeback and win and the Gulls hang on to their lead, the Blues jump into 1st place. But the Blues have to score at least 4 runs if they want to win this game. As the 0-2 is fouled back, we're going to see pitch number 5 to Murillo upcoming.
We got 2 different things going here. Point Streak says 6-4, and their stream says 5-4. I love summer ball.
So it's just who do you trust? Do you trust the producer of the stream, or do you trust the statistician? I'm going to go with the live score.
Why are we dividing the press box now?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we have 2 statisticians and two play-by-play producers sitting right here. The 0-2 swung on and fouled off once more.
What a fight by Diego right here.
There we go. Now they've updated the stream at 6-4. So Point Streak was right all along.
Nerds win again.
Nerds win again. Statisticians can have that one. The Gulls have an opportunity to extend this lead even further, too. They have a runner on second with 1 out. None of it matters if the Blues can't win the game here at Sinsheimer on what has become a really chilly night as Diego Murillo strikes out swinging. Murillo strikes out swinging for the second time against Adrian Blanchette. And Blanchette has 8 strikeouts in 10 batters faced. He is shoving against the Blues. It's the top of the 9th. Blues trail it by 3 on the SLO Blues streaming network. Middle of the order due up, it's Jason Del Villar, followed by Lujan and Buckley. Top half of the 9th inning as Del Villar watches strike 1. Barons lead it by 3 and looking to extend before the Blues get what could be their last opportunity in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Del Villar, a couple of strikeouts, a walk, and a ground out in today's game as he swings and misses at a big slider from Chase Rogers, who's back out there for inning number 3 of work.
Yeah, Blues are running out of sand in that hourglass. They're on that 5-game winning streak, and it just looked like a completely different ball club. Today against the Barons have come back down to earth. They just can't seem to figure out Academy this game or their 20-4 loss down in Compton.
Blues have won 6 of their last 7 as that one is popped up. Shallow right field. Murillo goes out. Hicksonball comes in. Hicksonball calls everyone off and makes the grab for the first out.
That's a good job by Hicksonball calling off his second baseman, Murillo, who is always hustling on pop-ups, on ground-outs. Murillo was just about camped underneath it, but Hicksonball knows he has priority because he's coming in on the ball. He has a way better angle than the second baseman, Murillo, was able to call him off in time to make the catch. Good play.
That's a play Murillo definitely can make. He is a stud defensively out there at second base. But as you mentioned, Hicksonball, that's his ball all the way. So good, smart play from him.
He can make the play. It just was not needed
exactly
at that time.
First pitch to the left fielder, Lujan. Misses outside. One of 2 switch hitters. Playing in left field and is 1 for 3 today. A couple of ground outs, a base hit, and a walk. As Cam Andrews puts down the sign, and Rogers comes set. That one is hit on the ground fair. Down the first baseline, Hicksonball will go all the way into the corner to glove it, and the relay is not in time at second. Another double given up by Chase Rogers. This one to Antonio Lujan. Puts a runner in scoring position with 1 out for Nigel Buckley.
Now Lujan wrapped this one down the first baseline. 94 miles an hour. No chance for Tollerman to have those reflexes and throw and make the play. And they thought that he might have missed first base. They tried to throw the ball over there, but the runner was safe. And that's a hard hit double for Antonio Lujan. That's his second hit of the ball game.
Yeah, grounded right down the first baseline under the mitt of Zach Tollerman. And it was hit hard enough to get all the way to the corner where the foul pole is, which is not easy to do on this field because the outfield grass is pretty thick. It'll stop the ball very quickly. First pitch to Buckley is a sinker that misses outside for ball one.
Another thing, too, you get the moisture in a night like this with the fog coming in and whatnot. It makes it a moist air, so then the grass comes thicker, too.
Buckley, today's catcher, as he watches that one inside. And the Barons kind of have a similar rotation in catchers that the Blues do. Buckley is one of those catchers. He played last game against the Saints. Or excuse me, he played last against the Saints on the 20th as he watches a slider for a called strike. Then he got a day off on the 19th, played against the Bombers on the 18th. A couple days off. Played on the 13th against the Riptide, so kind of that same rotation that you see with the Blues. The Barons have as well down in Compton. As the 2-1 to Buckley is another slider that trickles into the zone for a called strike.
CCL update. The Walnut Creek Crawdads have officially beaten the Alameda Merchants by a score of 4-2.
A quick bottom of the 9th inning, and the Dads win. The goals are up 7-4 on the Stompers. That game in the top half of the 8th. This slider gets away from Cam Andrews, but not far enough for Lujan to advance to third. The count runs full. No action in the Blues bullpen. Chase Rogers will have to work out of this jam. 1 on and 1 out. Full count to Buckley. 0 for 4. 3 groundouts and a fly out to Jake Hicksenbach. Here's the payoff. And misses inside. It gets past the glove of Cam Andrews. It's a full count walk. The runner moves up to third. Now they're on the corners with 1 out.
And I thought they hit the knob of the bat for sure of Nigel Buckley, but clearly, from our vantage point, a little too far away. It might have clanked off the glove of Andrews instead. So Lujan advances into third, and Buckley in at first.
Now it's Klinowski, who's reached base safely 3 times today. A couple of hits, one of which was a double. And a walk. Also grounded out in the 2nd inning. So he gets a chance with 2 on and 1 out. First pitch is a fastball that misses up. Blues have won 6 of their last 7 and 12 of their last 14. As Dean Traynor is going to come out and talk to the entire infield, as well as the battery. And a 1-0 count with Lujan on third and Buckley on first.
There's someone getting loose in the bullpen, trying to identify who that is. We'll get back to you. Right-hander.
Looks like maybe it's Matt Betancourt. Cooper Bagby. One of those two, that's my guess. Confirmed, Cooper Bagby. So he is getting loose. The righty from Santa Maria High School who's uncommitted. Going into his junior year of college baseball. Dean Traynor retreats to the dugout. So what that game means, that Dad's win over the Merchants, is that the Blues' magic number to make the playoffs remains at 4. They don't get to decrease that number, as that one is a called strike. Ace is free now to Klinowski, who roped a leadoff double in the 8th. Slider misses inside. 2 balls and a strike. Klinowski attends CSU East Bay. This last year put up one of his more productive seasons with an average just shy of 284. As that one is chopped on the ground to second. Murillo sends it to short for 1 and over to first. The double play. Twin killer ends the top half of the 9th inning. The Blues have one more chance to tie it or take the lead. Can they do it? Must-win game for the Blues. It's the bottom of the 9th. 4-1 Barons on the Blues Streaming Network. New pitcher to get the save. It's Amari Yolas, the 5'8", 160-pound righty, looking to get the save against the Blues in the bottom of the 9th inning after Blanchette held it down for 3 innings. He struck out 8 Blues batters in just 3 innings of work.
Take time to digest that, everyone. That's a lot of Ks.
Struck out the side in the 6th, did the same in the 7th, and then struck out 2 of the 3 hitters he got out in the 8th inning. He only gave up 2 base runners. One was a bloop single to Andrew Raymond, which Torres lost in the twilight sky. And the other one, a hit by pitch to Zach Tollerman. As Amari Yolas and the catcher Buckley get together to go over the signs. It's still tough to see what the catcher's throwing down between his legs. So I'll talk about some physical signs. Gavin Smith will lead it off for the Blues in their last opportunity in what is a must-win game. First pitch, yanked outside at 93 miles an hour. And this is super impressive. A 5'8", 160-pound pitcher who pumps it up all the way to 95.
Yeah.
Also has a sinker, a slider, and a curveball, as that one is a yanked fastball and misses for ball 2.
Yeah, living in that low 90s, another 93-mile-an-hour four-seamer.
It's going to be the Blues' bottom of the order as they appeal, and Smith did not go around. Smith, Raymond, and Andrews due up, and then Constantine will follow if they get that far. Amari Yolas this year for the Barons has a 3.6 ERA in his 10 innings of work. He has 16 strikeouts to his 5 walks, only giving up 5 hits. He has a 1 whip.
In 10 innings.
3-1. It's a fastball. Clips the outside for strike 2.
That was cheddar on the outside corner.
I don't know if Smith ever saw it, to be quite honest.
I didn't.
Yeah. Disappears into the mitt, right at the belt. Here's the full count pitch. Fastball for a called strike 3. Pumps it up to 94 to get Smith looking.
3 strikeouts for Smith today, all of them looking. Gets frozen up and lockjaw on that fastball.
And he made sure in the second that he continued his streak of getting on base. That's up to 11 games now, but since then has just left the bat on the shoulder in 3 consecutive at-bats, which means now it's Andrew Raymond, a right-on-left matchup. One of just 2 lefties in the lineup for the Blues today. He faces the flamethrower. First pitch is swung on a miss for strike 1. Pumps it up to 94 once again. Yolas committed to play at CSUN out of high school, but as an outfielder. Then committed to Cyprus, as they say that Raymond went around.
A 6 ERA at Cyprus this past season. 28 Ks and 31 1/3 innings pitched.
He also spent a year at LA Valley College, as that one misses outside. Home of the Monarchs, where he made 8 appearances and had a 6.48 ERA and a 2 whip in 8 innings pitched. Struck out 12, though, so the strikeout numbers have always been there for Yolas. 1-2, swung on a miss, strike 3. 95 miles an hour. The velocity continues to climb as the Blues strike out once more.
Yeah, back-to-back Ks. Not how you want to start the bottom of the 9th. But, I mean, you got a Goliath in front of you in Yolas.
Blues have struck out 15 times tonight. And 10 of the last 13 batters have struck it out as Andrews flinches but leaves that one outside for ball 1. This is just so impressive. You very rarely see somebody at Yolas's height who can pump it up into the mid-90s as he throws his first slider of the day and it misses high.
That's some bite, man. 2 feet of break.
And it still had good velocity, too. And low 80s. I mean, that's a huge drop, but it's still great velocity with good movement. 2-0. Fastball that Andrews fouls off his front foot. A sinker at 92 miles an hour.
I thought I saw some run on that.
Yeah, I mean, that was good sequencing. He goes with his first slider he's thrown today. It has 2 feet of break, and then he immediately drops the slider off of it with also good induced horizontal and vertical break. Andrews picked it up pretty quickly, though, and was able to get a piece of it. He's still in the driver's seat. It's a 2-1 count to the catcher. He swings and misses. The deuce is wild to Cam Andrews. The Blues down to their last strike. Barons bellow for their hot sauce. The 2-2 swung on a miss, strike 3. 94-mile-an-hour fastball ends the game. The Blues lose it 4-1 and drop the season series to the Barons 2-0. Barons have the Blues number, and the Blues magic number does not decrease whatsoever to make that playoff spot. It remains at 4 with 4 games to play. Blues get the Philippine baseball group tomorrow at 6 o'clock before heading on the road, and just a day where the offense struggled.
You talk about must-wins. Tomorrow against the Philippines, they have no choice but winning because the 3 games after that, 2 Conejo Oaks games and an OC Riptide game. And those are 1 and 2 the best teams in the league, I'd say right now. Well, the Blues got their hands full these next 2 games, but I mean, the Barons just took it to them. It was kind of deja vu from last game. It wasn't as dramatic as 20-4, but they just competed their butts off, man. They swung it with the sticks. They didn't strike out a lot. They hunted in the fastball early in counts, and the Blues just kind of folded from the bullpen. Blanchette and Amari Yolas just delivered the heat to all these batters, and they went down swinging 16 times tonight.
Yeah, the Blues have struggled a lot when they strike out a lot, and that continues tonight. They dropped this one 4-1, and their CCL record is now 20-15 with 4 games left to play. That's going to do it from us here at the ballpark. Ryan Giacomini joined alongside Nate Mills. We hope you have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow for the Ancient Owl